he would step across the line. Habitually. He's a habitual line stepper.
You make me happy. Thank y'all for joining us on the Habitual Line Steppers podcast. I'm Garrett Charles Langdon Hansen.
I am Terry. Ricardo the Shades of the Second, and you know what time it is, baby. It is Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Yes, go, baby. We're back again. Garrett is recording from a potato again. Once again, he's back, Mr. Potato Head. And as you can see, his head is over here on the frame. It's no big deal. He can't move much. What's up, baby? You know what time it is. It's NBA award season. It's the end of the season.
Mobility is running low over here, but spirits are an all-time high, Terry. I'm very excited for this show.
Son, you cannot stand right there. If you stand right there, I'm gonna fucking lose it. I can't take you serious. You standing this far over in the frame. This is absolutely ridiculous.
All right. How are we doing? Are we good now?
All right, that's better. That's
all
better.
Right.
Oh God! And you moved it over again. It's all good. I'll fly with it. If you don't have,
I don't know how many columns I got in my neck, but not all of them are working. All right, so we're just gonna have to go with it.
YouTube, what up?
Yeah, guys. So the NBA season is wrapping up. We got like one game left. It's time to check back in on our preseason predictions. See how we did. What did we get right? What did we get wrong? Give out all of our NBA awards for this regular season, including the Jerry West Clutch Player of the Year award that I'm sure you forgot about.
It's on there, but I don't care. Go ahead.
So I separated. I went back and I listened to our Western Conference preview and our Eastern Conference. Went back through all our predictions and then separated them into two categories: bullseye and bullshit. So let's start off, Terry, with some of our bullseyes that we missed coming into this season.
All right.
We went Miss Cleo. I pulled out the crystal ball, and we told you exactly what was going to happen. The first one that I nailed was that the Blazers are going to embrace the tank mid-season, miss the play-in, and suck despite getting Jeremy Grant. And all their hopes of making the playoffs were very misguided.
Good prediction on that one. No, I don't know if I argued with you on it or not, but I'm pretty sure I was like, I don't believe in Portland. Whatever they do is bad. And
you didn't argue with me at all.
Yeah.
We both are like, why is Jeremy Grant on this team? Like, who's their backup center behind Nurkic?
Makes absolutely no sense.
You guys are trying to contend with this team. Damian Lillard's dropping like 32 a game. They're like, you know what? We got to shut you down for the last 20 games, dude. You're playing too well.
That sucks. That sucks. I think we need a new word instead of just mid-season, because like mid to me means middle. Like, they shut him down with, like, 4 games or, like, maybe 10 games to go. I feel like that's not in the middle of the season, but
yeah,
I guess it is. I guess
it wasn't an abortion. It was more of a stillburst. But either way.
How many wins?
Damian Lillard, I don't think he's going to stick around for too many more seasons like the one he just stuck through.
Oh, that was bad. How many wins did he get? 33? Oh, let me pull up the over-unders, too.
We hammered the under. I think it was 38.5.
Oh, that's absolutely ridiculous. That's way
so
too
we
much.
nailed that one. The second, the one that you nailed 100% was the Raptors.
Oh, God.
You called that they were going to be in the play-in tournament. You called the Scotty Barnes regression. I was like, Scotty Barnes is the best player on the team over Pascal Siakam. You're like, no, he's going to struggle. You said their backup center is going to cause huge problems in their center position in general. How they
center in general. Yeah.
And
they picked one up.
They traded for one mid-season and have suddenly become a lot
better.
Yeah,
they're a lot better with Pirtle. And he's like a middle of the road center, as far as today's NBA is concerned. I said it. Scotty Barnes is the most overrated player in the NBA. I mean, if you're not going to trade him for Kevin Durant, shoot yourself. Go ahead and leave. It's time for you to go. Your GM position should be questioned. It's an absolute travesty.
The Tigers. That's what they're
See, he's lucky because he has a reputation for being a decent GM, and they won a chip like a couple of years ago, so he's got that cachet. Otherwise, I would have been looking at him like, we're getting Kevin Durant, bro. Like, I don't care if he plays for 40 games or 40 nights. He's going to be on this team, and we're going to go to the playoffs, and we're going to be well. Scotty Barnes, got a lot of growing to do, my guy. You improved throughout the season, but, like, in the beginning and in the middle, it was looking shaky. It was looking dicey. You know, he's starting to be a little bit more aggressive, which I think is going to help. But at a moment in time during the season, I was like, this dude is Ben Simmons 2.0, and not in a good way.
Yeah. Cool. We'll get to Ben Simmons when we get to bullshit.
Oh, God.
Another one you nailed, my Atlanta Hawks. Obviously, you know, I had my rose-colored glasses on. Beginning of the season, I was brimming with optimism.
Yep.
You nailed that we'd be in 6. We're likely going to finish in 7 or 8. You nailed the loss of Kevin Huerter on offense. You nailed the loss of Danilo Gallinari and the effect of those 2 shooters being on our spacing. And you gave maybe the quote of the preview when you said, the Hawks are good, but Nate McMillan is still their coach.
Makes total fucking sense, man. Hey, look, dude. Their over-under when the season started was 46.5. Which is absolutely outrageous. They got close, but not close enough. And I would like to say that was our most contested, talked about video between who's going to finish higher, Cavs or Hawks. And I got all this shit.
And the majority of the comments were about how to pronounce DeJounte Murray's name.
That is true. It's whatever, Dejounte, whatever you want to call him. We know what his name is. I'm just saying.
He was DeJounte in San Antonio and Deontay this year in Atlanta.
No, for real. But, yeah, look, man. That was a silly argument that we had in the beginning. The Hawks are the Hawks. They're going to hawk. Trae Young is who he is. And it's unfortunate that we all, I wouldn't say got fooled, but it's like, what are you supposed to do? I know the season was weird. There was injuries and shit. It was a shorter season. I mean, they made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. I get it. We can all get fooled by that, but like it happened. It's not like they didn't beat a really good Sixers team and they didn't go through the first round and beat whoever they beat at that moment in time. I don't remember who it was, but it's like they're good. They were good at one point in time, and now they're not. They're not good, but they're average now. They're back to kind of being what they were when Trae Young kind of first entered in.
Yeah, I thought you nailed it in the preview though, because you know I was like playing with the Hawks on 2K, and I'm running Trae around pin downs while DeJounte Murray has the ball, and I'm doing all this stuff on 2K that I'm expecting to see in real life. And you told me, you're like, Garrett, it's going to take a while to break Trae Young's habits.
Yeah.
And you were 100% right on that one, man. I was like, he's one of the best catch-and-shoot players in the league. Catch-and-shoot, his three-point percentage went through the fucking cellar. Yeah. Like, I'm like, he's been working all offseason with Steph Curry's trainer, working on movement, working off coming off screens, working off all the, like, relocating. No, he just sits in the corner with his hands on knees, just like he always did. Yeah. So I was too high on him changing his habits in one season. I still believe with a full offseason of Quinn Snyder that he can get through to him. But in Nate McMillan's system, I don't know what I was thinking, Terry.
Yeah, he's not a great coach for ball dominant guys. That's just Trae's good, but he's not fucking LeBron. You know what I'm saying? He's a small guard that can do what he does. I feel like Mike D'Antoni would have been perfect, to be honest with you. And honestly, what really messed y'all up is just John Collins. He can't shoot anymore. Like, once that tanked, it's tough.
And I talked about that in the preview. I was like, the big concern is we have no stretch big. Frank Kaminsky sucks. Chris Paul is the only person who can make him look remotely decent. He's not going to play. He's going to be awful. That is borne out to be true. The thing that did not turn out to be true is I was like, the Hawks are the only team in the NBA that have 2 players who average at least 9 assists a game. That ball is going to be moving.
That was so dumb. When you said it, I was like, I can't believe this guy.
Atlanta ended up finishing the regular season last in total passes and last in passes per game.
Absolutely. I mean, come on. Anybody, like, how did you not see that coming? I saw that coming from a mile away. It was the same shit with fucking the Rockets when they had Chris Paul and James Harden, and they were like, and D'Antoni's like, hey man, I got 48 minutes with the best point guards in the league. Like, we're going to be moving it and grooving it. You weren't moving it and grooving it. You're just fucking one dude was going, and then the other dude was going. Your turn, my turn. Your turn, my turn. It's not good basketball, man. It's just not.
Yeah, well, we saw how that worked out for the Hawks this year. Not good basketball. Who was playing good basketball, who I saw coming, at least, were the Sacramento Kings. I said they were going to have a top 3 offense and a bottom 3 defense. and that they were going to make the playoffs. Now, I didn't have them number 3.
No.
You know what I mean? That's a big jump to go from not making the playoffs in 20 fucking years to
that was huge.
3, but
that was
I
huge.
did see them making it. I did see them being an explosive offensive team and being terrible on defense.
Hey, you called that right on the money. We got to give it to you. That trade, it looks like it's a rare win-win. It's a rare win-win trade. I'm surprised. I'm actually shocked. You know, the Kings are doing their thing. Like the motherfucking bee, boy. Them boys are balling, man.
3 seed, baby.
Yeah. Finally,
yes,
what was it, 16 years, no playoffs? 17 years, no playoffs?
17, I think. 17.
Ooh. Congratulations.
We also we said that 3 through 8 in the West was going to be tight as fuck. It might only be 1 or 2 games separating them. Ended up being 3 through 10, not 3 through 8.
11. It's like 3 through 11 almost. It's
crazy.
Right.
The Mavs won't give up.
I thought they were out, man.
We nailed that. I nailed the Nuggets. You said that I was crazy.
You nailed the hell out of the Nuggets. I got to give it to you.
They're going to be the number 1 seed. I said Jokic is going to win his 3rd straight MVP. And I also said that Mike Malone's terrible hockey rotations are going to cost him 5 games in the regular season.
Yeah, so for all the talks of the Jokic, you know, plus-minus numbers and all this bullshit, got the worst bench of all time, got hockey substitutions going. It's hard to look at those numbers and then look at y'all a couple of years ago and be like, he has the best plus-minus in the league. He has the best 100 possessions versus his bench is 100. Okay, his bench sucks. His coach does really stupid substitutions. I hope he doesn't do it in the playoffs because that's going to really bite them in the ass. You got to. You don't. Jokic is a beast, but I don't think he's Giannis.
Him and Doc Rivers are that Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, I don't know. Shit, man. The last 10 games, maybe 15 games of the season, I thought Jokic was the guy, and now I'm just like, fuck, maybe he's not the number 1 guy. I don't know. He can still be MVP, but I don't think he's the best player in the league now. For a section, I was like, he's got it, but now I'm like, if he can't carry this garbage like Giannis did, I'm not giving it to you. Got to drop it down.
Well, I'm sure we'll get to that later. Another one that you nailed, Terry, was the Celtics at 2.
Ah, man, that was rough. That one was a fucking, like, they were killing it, man. Like, in the beginning of the season, what were they, like 21-5?
Yeah, and it was like, is this the best team in NBA history? No.
I was like, damn, why did I even doubt these kids? Like, I knew they were together for so long and made so many playoff runs. I should have said they were about to be the number 1 team, but
you know what? We nailed it when we talked about it on the pod. I said Robert Williams played 60 games last season for the Celtics. There's 0% chance he plays 60 games for them this year.
Yeah,
that's going to hurt him.
That's the best you're going to get out of Rob. He just can't play, unfortunately. Yeah, I don't know. That one was we nailed that one, but
you nailed the Celtics exactly at 2. You nailed the Heat exactly at 7.
Yeah,
I thought the Heat were going to be much higher. I was like, don't you dare put them below the Celtics. I was like, they were 1 Jimmy Butler shot away from winning it. I believe in institutional, stability, and I believe in coaching. Yeah. And I ended up believing in the worst offense in the NBA.
See, like, I believe in them, but I started looking at the numbers for, like, Miami teams, you know, over the years as when Pat Riley was the ruler and under Spoelstra and shit. They break down. You know, after years, they start breaking the fuck down, man. It's just too much of like I understand getting your body fat down to fucking 3% and being fit to play in all the games.
Yeah, where's Kyle Lowry on that journey?
Dead after season 2.
I got my body fat down to 18%.
Oh. He was trying his hardest. He was like, yeah, I can't do this. I'd rather retire. He's so fucking out of it.
Yeah, wait a minute. How did we go from having like body fat percentage with 35-year-old Dwayne Wade that he used to meet these marks, and then like 3 years later, Matt Strus, Kyle Lowry, and Kevin Love are all on the court together.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, like I said, they break down too much. Jimmy Butler, you know, used to be an Iron Man. Now, he played 60
games.
Like
60-some games this year. Yeah,
60 ain't enough for me. 60 is not enough for me, bro. Like,
I think he's gonna get to 65 plus.
He is at 64. I mean, he would, you know, if everybody's got one more game, I guess he's hitting the 65.
He's gonna be eligible for all.
He's hitting it. He's hitting the 65 mark. But, like, if he misses that many games, Bam misses, a decent amount of games. They don't play Duncan Robinson anymore, so they like to use fucking Strus and Gabe Vincent as guys. Come on, guys. What are we doing? Like, I get that guys can score. Tyler Hero is barely playing in a lot of games. There's too many injuries. Kevin Love's supposed to be your guy that comes from nowhere. And he's like, he's a guy.
You didn't see that coming.
Oh, he was supposed to be the sixth man.
You were like, Kevin Love, no Kevin Love. I don't fucking care. Like, 17. You nailed that one. And then the final one that I nailed, Terry, I was right about Brooklyn. I called it they were going to break his team up. I called it they were going to get Steve Nash fired. And I called it that Kyrie and KD would both request trades before the end of the season.
No, that was smart. That was good shit. Good shit.
You said, quote, Ben Simmons really adds something to them. Ben Simmons is pretty good.
He quit. He straight up quit. I was supposed to predict that. He doesn't care about basketball. I didn't know he didn't care about basketball at all. I heard this dude was having parties in LA, dog. Parties. How was his back this bad? What was he doing?
Yeah.
For Summers. What was he doing?
It's not his back, it's his J.
No, he's legitimately, like, I thought it was bullshit, the back injury and all that. Legitimately, his back is just ruined now. I don't even know if he's really going to be able to play, like, at any level. Like, he's horrible, man. He's really bad, dude.
His mind is ruined. His back is fine.
Nah. His back is shot.
He got hurt on that play where he passed it up about to dunk on Trae Young, is what you're telling me? Because all the way up into that play, Ben Simmons was healthy. And then suddenly that play happened, and now he is a debilitated back. No. I think the back injury was in the summer. I'm not saying his back got hurt after that. That's just all mental. I mean, he should have dunked that for sure, but yeah. I mean, you were right about the Nets. The funny thing about the Nets is, though, they shouldn't have done what they did. Like, they were literally flying high with a new coach. I told you the coach was all the problem. The coach was the problem. Just keep KD and Kyrie. They kept bending to everything. This is why they don't have a team anymore. They bent to every player's wish. But we also said in preseason, dysfunction is going to run throughout. They're going to get the coach fired. They're going to request the trades.
Yeah.
Like,
hey, look,
what happens when you're in a situation with no leadership and a bunch of mercenaries in the locker room.
No, I mean, we said Nash is going to get fired. And when Nash got fired, I believe, when I looked this stat up, they went 20 and 8.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden, Kyrie's like, yeah, this winning thing, I don't like it. Send me to Dallas. Get me out of here. Yep. Let me tank them up.
Who could have predicted that? Yeah, I knew it, man. I was like, if they might win for a while, they may look good for a while. But
they looked great, man.
This team is going nowhere, and they're going to self-destruct.
This dude, bro.
100% correct.
Yeah.
Now,
you're right
some
on that.
of the ones that we missed, I had the Oklahoma City Thunder as the third worst team, or the second worst team in the West.
Even was that after the Chet injury?
Yeah, it was right after. I was like, "Oh, Chet got hurt. They're going to shut this shit down. They got Wendy coming up in the draft. What are they going to do?" Like, their only addition was Chet, really, to the team. Him and Jalen Williams.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like they sucked last year. They shut SGA down. I was like, what are they going to try this year for? With the same team? Yeah. SGA scoring over 30 a game. They're in the playing race. They beat LeBron on the night that he breaks the points record. Like
36, yep. I mean, they did give up 36
I thought they were just going to be abjectly terrible, worse than the Rockets. And you were like, they might be bad, they might be good. You never know. You can have the Rockets being absolutely terrible, and I was like, I don't know. I can see them. I don't know.
Şengün. You love Şengün so much.
I was like, Şengün's going to get all of Christian Wood's touches. No, Kevin Porter Jr. and Jalen Green are. I don't know why I thought that. But
hey, man, nobody's going to give you too much shit for the OKC prediction. I mean, what are we supposed to think when Chet goes down? Like, OKC's going to make the play-in for sure. Like, come on. Shai Gilgeous, though. I mean, you want to talk about a leap to fucking stardom? Like, this dude, I mean, he turned into a top 10 player in the NBA. Like, legitimately, I think he's a top 10 player in the NBA. And, like, I don't know, man, leading a team like this to the playoffs is very, very impressive, man. And it deserves some praise.
Considering they're the youngest team in the NBA by a huge margin. Like, There are no vets on the whole team. Luke Dort is the vet.
No, for sure. Honestly, if it wasn't for the Kings, this would probably be like the biggest story in the league. You know, like team-wise, team improvement. It's kind of crazy.
100%. So I blew that. You blew the Mavericks. You said they had them as a play-in team. You said that's way too low. You said you took the over on 48.5 wins.
They blew the team up.
I said Luka wasn't on that. You were like, Luka's on Jokic's level. I was like, no, he's not. He's the 5th best player in the league.
They blew the team.
Bamboozled by that Western Conference Finals.
Bro, they blew up the team, dude. What am I supposed to do with that? They gave away all their defenders. They actually were, what were they when they traded him? Like 6th or 5th?
Yeah, but you know how it is. They were like a half game back from being 13th. Like,
yeah, but at least they had a good team. They can't play any defense anymore or get any rebounds. They have nothing now.
And then I called the Kyrie in-season trade, where I said there are only 2 possibilities for this. Either you win and you have to give Kyrie Irving a max contract and it fucks your entire team up, or you don't win and now you've thrown out all your assets and Luka leaves.
Yeah, nah, it's looking bad. I don't know, Luka. The conversation is looking nasty, brother. You know, I mean, like all the James Harden fucking conversations too. At first, we were talking about LeBron. Then I'm looking at like he's not even fucking prime James Harden. I don't give a fuck about how much you're scoring. You're looking more like Bradley Beal, brother. Shout out to you, Bradley.
Yeah, if Bradley Beal ever averaged 9 assists a game.
Hey, he got 30 and didn't make the playoffs or was an 8th seed. Gotta be better than that. Gotta be better than that. Horrible.
I miss big time on the Grizzlies.
You just don't like them. That's no big deal, though. That's not that big a deal.
Yeah, you contended John Morant was the top 6 player in the NBA.
That was
Luka Doncic.
That was a conversation. I said he was the same level as Luka.
Yeah, and then when I said Jason Tatum was better, you started laughing for like 10 seconds.
Oh man, I don't know where he is exactly, but he's amongst the stars. Nah,
13. I figured it out. 13.
He's a top 10 player. He's a top 10 player. I
think we have 13 top 10 guys.
So where does he land for you? Big job.
13? We already did this before, like on the pod a couple months ago.
No, he's still 13, no?
If anything, he probably slipped since his team suspended him for fucking 8 games.
That's
in
interesting.
The middle of the season.
All right, well, big job, 13. So their over-under was 48.5. I think they're 1 game under that right now.
Yeah. But you had them, I think, top 3.
Oh, no, never mind.
I think you had them top 3. I had them like 7 or something like that.
Realistically, they probably should have been first because Ja missed 8 games. Like, was suspended. It wasn't like he was hurt for 8. So he got straight suspended healthy for 8 games. They probably could have got the one.
He's not there anyway and had for 2 seasons.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. That's what the numbers say, right? They're a better team without him. Trade him.
Yep.
Get some more pieces there.
Hey, we've now had 2 seasons to see. Big enough sample size. I'll tell you the one that I completely fucking whiffed on was the Timberwolves.
Oh, God.
And this is a guaranteed. I said Rudy Gobert added to this team is a 50-win regular season team, and that's a fact, Terry. That's a fact, Terry.
How much did I laugh at that? Because that's fucking absolute comedy. I mean, I've seen you on the stand-up stage before, but that was a bit I couldn't turn away from. I was like, nope, rewind it back. I watched that over 10 times. I watched that episode over 10 times. That one part is comical. Rudy Gobert had probably the worst season of his career. Yeah. But I don't know. Even if Towns didn't miss, half the season, I still think they weren't that great of a team.
No, they're a fucking train wreck.
Yeah.
Until they got Mike Conley, they suck.
Yeah, D'Angelo Russell, of course, we know. He just doesn't fit their team at all. Like, he's a secondary guy.
I was like, this is going to be like the Utah team from years past. A bunch of regular season wins, and then you get, like, your ass beat in the first round of the playoffs. They didn't even do well in the regular season. I was so disappointed in the Timberwolves. They're Hawks East for me.
I think we just thought that, it's not to say that Anthony Edwards wasn't great. And, of course, like, Towns missed a shitload of games. But I think we thought that he would take another leap. You know what I'm saying? For as good as he looked.
I think he did. Like, he became an all-star. His defense improved considerably. You know what I mean? But it was just like
I don't know. He's turning
there were
into a
too
black
many
hole.
moving parts. It was like when the opening day, Cat was like, "This is my team." Then he got injured, and D'Angelo Russell was like, "This is my team now." And Rudy Gobert was like, "Wait, what about me? I thought this is my team. You guys just traded 5 picks to get me." And then Anthony Edwards was like, "Fuck all that shit. That's my team. I am him." And so I think it took like 55 games maybe for them to figure out what they were. And I was just too high on them getting their chemistry too soon.
I don't know. I think I wanted him to at least be on like the Devin Booker trajectory. Like Devin Booker's playmaking even 3-4 years into the league, I think was a little higher.
The Devin Booker trajectory.
I'm talking about playmaking, not like scoring. Anthony Edwards can score. Like that's not a question.
He's already a much better defender than Devin
No.
Booker.
Just the playmaking part. That's all. Like if he improves his passing, because they don't really have like a true point. Now they do. They got Mike Conley. I think that helps a lot. Like we've already seen that with the trade. But when they had Russell, I feel like if he would have taken some of that responsibility instead of trying to score 30 a night, even though he was really only scoring 24, I expected 27 or 28. That's my thing. Like he was 4 points under what I thought he was going to be. So it's whatever. I didn't think they were going to be great, but he didn't.
I'm with you on that. I also I had the Warriors as the number 2 team in the West.
Injuries. I got no problem with that prediction. I got no problem with that. Steph played, 56 games? 50? Something
55,
like that?
I think, something like that. Yeah. I think he's at 54 right now. He'll be 55 when it ends.
Yeah, I got no problem with that.
We talked about it a little bit, but the effect of the punch on the season.
Yeah.
And, I was like, this is probably going to be a galvanizing thing for them and bring it back tighter and all this other stuff. It ended up showing up in having the worst road record in the entire NBA. Because when you're on the road,
that's when you need to
go back home and hang out with your family.
Yeah.
You're in close quarters hanging out with your teammates. That's why at home, they get to kiss Jordan Poole goodbye, go see their kids, go see their wives, refresh. Don't deal with those chemistry issues. We'll keep them over there. But when you go on the road, that's when things come to a head, and you have to address it. And they've been the worst team in the NBA on the road this season. And I think it could be directly attributed to that punch.
I agree. Nothing else to be said on that. They suck.
You also did call, you were like, Wiseman might fuck up the early season with them trying to, integrate him and him just being too slow and trying to catch up and shit. You're like, they might fuck up the first 20 games just because they're trying to, make Wiseman a part of the team. You called that pretty well, too. Now his ass is in Detroit. They gave up on that pretty quick.
Yeah, it's just a horrible fucking draft pick, man. They went 1990s with that draft pick. I don't understand what the fuck they were doing. Look, I can understand taking a wing. Like the Kuminga thing. All right, if you whiff on a wing, he's still super athletic. He can do some things. If you whiff on a big, that's tough as fuck. If they can't play defense, if they can't fucking do simple shit, he wasn't better than Looney. He couldn't even be better than Kevon Looney. That's a joke. And the under on them was 52.5 for the over-under. I get they won the chip, and for the most part last season they were fully healthy. Yeah. But, did they even win 52 last year? What do you guys say win last year? I'm looking at this real quick. They won 53, and we're going to think they improve, and they lost 3 key pieces, and Peyton and a lot of the other role players that was on the bench. Stop. We're out of here. And then Andrew Wiggins didn't help, so it's honestly where they are now is a testament to their greatness, to be honest with you, because this was it could have been a train wreck.
And nobody's picking the Kings in the first round over them, despite being a lower seed.
The Kings get to choose their fate because they play the Warriors for their last game. And if they beat the Warriors, they play the Lakers. If they lose to the Warriors, they play the Warriors. So it's up to them.
They should play the Lakers because the Warriors, if they play in Sacramento, that's not an away game. That Jordan Poole, Draymond shit, it's not going to burble up. It's like a 30-minute bus ride. So I don't know. I want the Warriors to have to travel somewhere if I was the other team.
Yeah, I got you. It's tough. I would say for a young team, don't just lose to lose. I would say just win. Fuck it, we made the playoffs. It's already a win that they're in the playoffs. That's first of all. So just go out there and win. I think they can win. Just score. Score 150 points. Fuck it. Go for it, dude. Don't lose. But you might be right.
Then the last one, the final miss. This was your biggest miss, Terry. I
Biggest
missed
miss?
big on the Hawks. You missed big on the Knicks, man. You said they were
Oh,
going to
man.
play in.
The
You
Knicks.
You said this was my favorite one. You said I think Derrick Rose is better than Jalen Brunson right now.
I stand by that. I stand
Yeah.
by that right now to this day.
You-
Nah,
you
Jalen
picked-
Brunson.
You picked the Magic to finish over the Knicks.
I did. 10 seed. Magic did okay this year. They were better than their over-under. Whatever. I can't. There's not much I can say. We both were wrong on our teams.
On purpose, Terry. I called it on the pod. I was like, I know
For sure.
exactly what you're doing. You're
For
full of
sure.
shit. I could have done the same thing and picked the Hawks to finish below Detroit.
No, you were too high and I was too low. I was way too low, but I was being facetious. Look, next year I'll make a better and more accurate prediction. I just couldn't do it. I love Brunson. Brunson did his thing. Shout out to him.
So I'm pulling up the scorecard, Terry. In terms of bullseye predictions, I had 6. You had 4. In terms of bullshit predictions, I had 5 and you had 2. This is like when they put Charles Barkley and Snoop Dogg on the George Lopez show. And
yeah.
And they're like, Charles Barkley, you are both blacker and whiter than Snoop Dogg, who's 80% Native American.
Oh man, weird season, bro. I don't know. When it came down to the end, I think I fell in love with it more. I fell in love with it more as it came down to the end. In the beginning and in the middle,
It
I was
was
like, I don't
interesting.
know.
I like seasons where it's not already prescribed, like from open and tip off. We know who the 4 best teams are going to be. We know all the storylines. We know exactly how the league's going to shake out. Like when the Warriors and the Cavaliers were around, it's like, all right, there are 2 teams of 4 All-Stars. Everybody else have fun in the regular season. Like,
For sure.
So I enjoyed this personally a lot more. And now it's time for us to make sense of it. Now the whole season is up. We're going to give you guys our NBA awards. You want to start with MVP, Terry?
That's messy. We'll save that for the end.
We'll save MVP.
We know where to keep the heat. That's been
I like
toxic all year. We're gonna save that for the people. You're gonna.
All right, let's start with
watch.
6 man then. Let's start with 6 man of the year.
Ooh,
Do you
that's
want to
tough.
give me? You want to give me your ballot, or do you just want to give me your winner, or what?
For 6 man?
Yeah.
I'll give you 3. I'll give you
All right.
3. So it's
Go
between
from 3 to 1. Go from 3 to 1. Build the anticipation.
3 to 1. All right, hold on. Let me go find my list real quick as we are talking. So 6 man of the year, I had surprisingly Norman Powell as 3rd. I think for as wonky as the Clippers are always going to be with Kawhi and Paul George, some sense of normalcy was Norman Powell. You know, giving them some decent points off the bench, playing some decent defense, and they needed a guard. He's not a point guard, but he can get buckets, he can do a little bit of playmaking, he can handle the ball. I think he did a good job for the Clips. And for the Clips, I always think the Clips are not going to do shit. They actually did okay, considering Paul George missed a shitload of games. Kawhi is always going to miss 30 to 40 games this season because he doesn't care about the regular season, right? Still a Hall of Famer, right, guys? No, not in my book. Norman Powell, he's 3rd for me. 2nd.
I like Norman Powell. What does he get? 18 a game off the bench or something like that? 17?
Yeah, he's getting 18.
They need it when
18.3.
Kawhi only plays half the games. You don't need a guy who's around his size, a couple inches shorter, who gets 18. That's a good
No, that's
pick.
for sure. That's for sure. 2nd, I went with my boy from the New York Knicks, Emmanuel Quickly. Look, I love Quickly. I really do. But it's the 6th man. He started 20 games. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know that's not, doesn't
He's
seem.
still eligible, but
Yeah.
all his best games came as a starter.
Yeah. The 50-point
Every time he
game.
was dropping over 30, it came as a starter. His high off the bench all season is 24.
Yeah. So, look, the dude, he's fucking good, but he's a fucking starter. He's not a bench player. All right. I'm leaving this number 1 spot to an actual bench player that didn't start a single game for the Boston Celtics, Malcolm fucking Brogdon. He's my 6 man of the year. Him and Quickly pretty much had the same stats. You know, Quickly played more games, but dude didn't start a game. And I think this might have been Malcolm Brogdon's best season. If you look at the, just the counting stats. So I had to give it to Brogdon. And he was I would say the number 1 reason why the Celtics didn't implode with like the whole coach situation. Like a strong figure off the bench. Honestly, he should start. He's better than Marcus Smart, but he's the guy coaching the floor. They needed him. He fucking provided. I'm giving it to Malcolm.
Finally, you pick somebody who's actually on my list.
What, Malcolm Brogdon?
Deserving to win this award. He was on my list, Terry, but I think he's had a great season too. Yeah. He's got the second highest assist rate on the team, despite coming off the bench. He's drilling 44% of his threes, which is a career high.
Yep.
He's shooting off the dribble for once. He's always been a catch and shoot three guy, not really off the dribble three guy, and he's shot pretty well. And he never went into a shooting slump all season long, like a lot of his teammates did. Pretty much every player on the Celtics went to a 2-week, 3-week, month-long shooting slump. Never. Malcolm Brogdon, consistent. Every game, every week.
Health, man. It's just health for him. Yeah.
Average 15, 4, and 7 off the bench. Come on now.
He's the guy, man.
I got no problem with Malcolm Brogdon winning it, but for me, he finished 3, Terry.
So who's second and third?
Placing above him, my man Bruce Brown. I loved it when he came over to the Nuggets from the Nets. I said that he was going to be a hand-in-glove fit with Jokic. He leads all bench players in plus-minus for the season and wins over a replacement player. He's shooting nearly 60% on his true shooting percentage and is averaging 11, 4, and 3 off the bench. He's just a winner, and he contributes to winning. And he's the best bench player on a team that's number one seed in the West.
Number one in the West.
He's integral to everything they do. And he's a better defender than Malcolm Brogdon. He can guard guards. He can guard wings. He can guard smaller bigs for a little bit. Mm-hmm. He's just a really versatile, talented, smart player, tough. My kind of guy, exactly. I'm going with Bruce Brown as number 2.
Good recognition. I like the Bruce Brown call out. I like it. Counting stats, not enough, but I think he's, for the new analytical NBA, that's a good pick. That's actually an excellent pick. I love Bruce Brown.
Thank you, sir. I'm not I'm a winning guy. That's always and forever been the thing that's most important.
Hey, me and you both. Yeah, me and you both.
So it's I'm done with giving this award to Jordan Clarkson and Lou Williams and microwaves who come off the bench and can't play anything else. I'm done with all that shit.
I got you.
So I'm gonna pick guys who are actually good.
Hey, I think the NBA is too good for that shit anymore. To speak on that, the NBA is way too talented for that these days. Now that's done. Because there's a bunch of dudes that can score a shitload of points. That's over. That's over.
I'm with you, which is why for my number 1 pick for my 6th man of the year, I'm going with Crazy Eyes Bobby Portis.
Bobby, that's a good pick
too. The only player to average a double-double off the bench. He's averaging 14 and 10. He's shooting 38% from 3. The Bucks got the best record in the whole NBA. He can play with Giannis. He can play with Lopez. He makes their entire big lineups go. He's a winner. He's tough as fuck. I just love Bobby Portis. He's my 6th man of the year.
That's a great pick, man. He was 4th on my list, bro. Bobby Portis was 4th for me. It was tough between him and Norman. I don't know. Norman's counting stats are just fucking.
Hey, that double-double, though.
That's crazy.
On the rebounds.
The rebounds is crazy. Mostly because their team is fucking really bad at 3 sometimes. But, the rebounding is good.
Not Bobby Portis. He's one of the few that can shoot it.
He can shoot. But Bobby's a good one. Oh, Crazy Eyes. He's a good player. He's going to be a really big contributor again for them for this playoff run. So hopefully they win.
I want to ask myself, if I could add one of these players to my team or whatever for the playoffs, which one would I want the most? And I think Bobby Portis is the guy I'd want out of all those 3.
Of all the bench guys?
Yeah, I think I'd take Bobby. Champion. Proven it in the finals.
He is, and he has. He definitely has. So next award.
Hold on, I want to give one honorable mention because he's not going to be mentioned anywhere on any of the online stuff or on any podcast. He's the 3rd string center for the Minnesota Timberwolves, but he's got a spot in my heart that I just can't give up. Nas Reed, man.
He's good.
Fucking good, dude. He averaged 11 and 5 off the bench as the 4th big, shooting 35% from 3 with a 60% effective field goal percentage. He can dribble, he can pass, he can shoot. He's got juice. He should be starting somewhere.
Yeah.
He's going to get the annual Rashawn Holmes award. You know what I mean? As a guy who is way too good to be the 3rd big. But I just want to give him some recognition. I love Nas Reed. I think he's a great six-man bench player.
Yeah.
And he allowed the Timberwolves to go, like, in the absence of Karl Anthony Towns. They didn't really have anyone who could replace Cat besides Nas Reed. And he came in and did a pretty good Cat impression.
Nah, I think Nas Reed is. I like Nas Reed, man. I really do. I think he's a really good fucking rotation guy. So hopefully he gets on an actual good team that can utilize his skills more than this garbage ass Minnesota squad. I don't know if they're going to improve much, but we'll see how it goes throughout the season.
I love Nas Reed and I love beer, which is why I'm going to get another one.
All right, so let's go for an obvious one, but maybe not for you because you're a fucking dipshit. As we have
no consensus people. I'm on one side this year. I'm doing all my own shit.
You can always do your own shit. It's fine. It's fine. You always do your own shit anyways. It's totally okay. But this year is wonky.
Yeah,
but
this year is like especially wild for my list.
Yeah. So do we want to do rookie and rookie team or just rookie of the year?
We can do rookie of the year if you want. Why don't you start off, Terry?
All right, rookie of the year. We know who the rookie of the year is. Garrett's gonna fucking try to do something stupid like he always does. As we saw in his prediction, he was wrong a lot. All right, so don't listen to him when it comes to this.
Well, just because I was wrong more than you doesn't mean I also wasn't right more than you also did. Okay.
He's blacker than you and he's whiter than you. But number 3 for me, somebody down there in a place that we have forgotten since the Stars have left. I'm going to OKC. You know, also I would like to send my condolences to the victims of the tornadoes in Oklahoma and all those places over there. That shit sucks ass. But Jalen Williams, 3rd for me, rookie of the year. Fucking awesome, Jalen Williams, dude. I didn't know where the fuck he came from. I, honest to God, had never heard of him until I started watching him play for OKC. And I saw Shea Gilgeous-Alexander always passing it to some dude, hitting threes with a fro. I was like, who is this guy? Absolute beast for them all year, dude. 3-point percentage. What was his 40? Was he in the 40s? Or was he 39?
I'm not sure. I think he was like 39, bro. But it was high.
I mean, he's...
No, you're right. 44.
Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. My man. Yeah, man, he's out there slanging it, bro. Shooting fucking threes all over the place. 14 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Not bad. 3 assists. I love that for guys that don't dominate the ball. I just like his game. I like a shooter. Space the floor. He gave Shea a lot of space to dominate this year, and I got to give him his credit. Number 2 for me.
Hold on.
Oh, go ahead.
Since mid-February, he's looked like probably the second best player on the team.
I would say so, yeah.
19, 6, and 4 since February.
Ooh.
Playing great defense, having great shot making, being a reliable ball handler who doesn't turn the ball over. For the season, he shooting 55, 44, 88 as a rookie. Like, that's winning basketball, however you want to cut it. For a team that's playing meaningful games late in the season, trying to make the play-in, playing against other teams that are trying their hardest, and he's showing up night in and night out playing winning ball that actually leads to wins, not just the counting stats. Even in the game, when they played LeBron, when he broke the scoring record, Jalen Williams is the best player on the floor. He had 25 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 steals, and snatched the spotlight from LeBron James in one of the biggest nights in NBA history as a rookie.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he was the best player on the floor, but I'm with you, though. He played great that game.
For me, he's my rookie of the year.
Wow, that's insane. All right. Well, that's your guy. You want to talk more about your guy, or that's your thing?
I love winners, man, and he can do it all. He can handle the ball. He could be a roll man. He could post up. He could shoot. He plays defense. He could switch. He defends in the post. He doesn't make bad mistakes and turn the ball over. Oh, and did I mention he could shoot? Especially when we talk about him and Paolo Banchero. Paolo Banchero went like
whoa,
in a row on 3-pointers. Jalen Williams out here making 44% for the season.
Whoa. Stop shitting on the rookie of the year, man. All right?
Ain't no rookie of the year. I'm extolling the rookie of the year.
Wow, number 1 for you. That's insane. All right, I'll go number 2 for me, Walker Kessler. Fucking beast. Never heard of him until Utah. You know, this guy, another guy for me that came out of nowhere. I don't know if he was like, big in the fucking draft boards and all that, but I can't deep dive college and NBA. Like, every
He
season.
was a 5-star prospect at UNC that left when Hubert Davis became the coach to go to Auburn.
Oh, what a piece of shit. He went down to Auburn and played with Jabari Smith. Bad decision. Should have stayed at UNC. You and Baycott and Brady Manick. That would have been a nice 3-man rotation going on at UNC. Maybe you would have won the championship, Walker. Who knows? It's all good. You're a great player in the NBA. Not great, but you're pretty good. For me, he's almost averaging a double-double. He was replacing one of the better centers, of this generation, defensive-wise, and Rudy Gobert. And we didn't really think much of Utah this season.
And it's been better than Rudy Gobert was. Like, his
offensively, he's crazy. He's
stupid, bro.
Yeah.
Only Jared Jackson Jr., Nick Claxton, and Brook Lopez have blocked more shots. Kessler leads the entire NBA in effective field goal percentage.
Yep.
He's been a full-time starter since January when Kelly Olynyk went down. And since he became a starter, he's averaging a double-double and 3 blocks a game.
He doesn't miss. Kid doesn't miss. He's on some DeAndre Jordan shit, but like buckets that actually count. Free throw percentage, I feel like it needs to go up a little bit. No big deal. It's fine. He's a big man. We can get control of that. But player efficiency rating for a fucking rookie? 21.9? I'll take that shit all fucking day.
And he's a beast, man. He's first in win shares, first in value over a replacement player, first in like all the advanced stats. I got no argue with you here. Walker Kessler was definitely in my top 3.
Was he your number 2 or was he 3 for you?
He was 3. He was
3. So yeah, Jalen 1, and I'm guessing
Paolo was number 2.
Paolo's number 2 for you. Look, man, Paolo Banchero, he's the number 1. He is going to be the rookie of the year, guys. I mean, I know my co-host wants to shake his head. It is what it is. The dude's an absolute bucket, man. Despite the fact that he's shooting under 29% from 3.
What's he shooting from 2? Why don't you tell me what he's shooting from 2?
Doesn't matter. Have you seen his team? Here's the thing.
Yeah. I'm gonna finish above the Knicks.
Hey, look, I'm gonna put something out there for you guys, right? So we want to shit on Paolo Banchero. He actually looks like a bona fide NBA player that can do something. Like, I love Jalen Williams. He was doing some great shit for me in towards the second half of the season. I love Walker Kessler. He's doing some great shit. But Paolo actually looks like he can be an all NBA type dude. There's no questions about it for me.
Wow.
At times, the problem with him in Orlando, he's not a fucking small forward, guys. The dude's a 4. Let him be a fucking 4. They're out there playing him in lineups with fucking 2 big men for a majority of the season. That's probably why they didn't make the playoffs. You don't give him any space. He's shooting horrible shots because he has no space. His players can't shoot for shit. Him and fucking Wagner are the only ones that can actually play basketball. It seems like your guards don't know how to get you the ball, so you got to take it up and try to shoot. I just think he looked like a scorer. He looked like someone that could like be aggressive and give me buckets towards the end of the game. And rookie, he had the 8th most free throws for any player in the league, dog.
Yeah, which was
in the fucking league
for this season. His saving grace is that he wins the free throw line a ton because
he's a beast.
Because he can't make shots from anywhere else on the court.
He's got no space, bro. Watching Orlando, besides Houston, it's probably my least favorite watch this year. It's fucking ridiculous.
I love watching Orlando. I don't know what the fuck it's on.
I like teams that have someone who can pass on the team. These motherfuckers are horrible. Like, you can go ahead and go.
I like watching 13 minutes of Bol a night.
Bol.
It's just the efficiency, man. Like, it's not what he did this season doesn't contribute to winning. Like, taking a billion shots and not making any of them. Like, congratulations. You only get to do that on terrible teams. Like, you shot less than 30% from 3. You went a month and a half without making a 3, despite taking 45 of them in a row.
29.8. My God. The worst 3-point shooter in the league, right?
Yeah, he shot like below 40% from 2. He was terrible near the basket. He was awful in mid-range. He couldn't score anywhere on the court.
Hold on.
Like,
his 2-point field goal is 47%. Why are you faking on him?
That's terrible. That's awful.
It's bad.
It's really bad, especially if you're a gigantic guard that's way bigger than most of the people you're playing against. Like,
yeah.
It just didn't add up to anything amounting to like something that's going to translate to playoffs.
That's possible.
That's going to be like winning basketball at the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, yeah, he put up all these great counting stats, got to the free throw line a lot. he had the most offensive responsibility, like, by a ton. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to shit on Paolo. I like Paolo, and I think he is going to be an all-star, and I think he is going to be a good player. But in the context of this season, he put up numbers, but they didn't really translate to wins. And if I'm going to, like, split hairs, Walker Kessler for sure could contribute to winning on a team that played games when it mattered. Jalen Williams has contributed to winning, playing games when it's mattered.
Yeah.
Paolo Banchero hasn't played a game that's mattered all season, and he still can't shoot.
It's whatever. Look,
that's why he's 2 for me.
It's a rookie scale, dog. Like, I'm not going to judge him on, games that matter. None of their fucking games really matter. Like, the fucking
that's my point.
The team didn't want to win.
City, every game matters. They're in a fucking, like, 4-horse race.
I feel like of the 3 players, Paolo's job was the hardest.
Yes, I agree with that.
Walker Kessler's job was easy. Yeah. That's why he's shooting 72%. Jalen Williams' fucking job was easy. That's why he shot 44%.
I don't agree with that.
44% from 3 means you're shooting a lot of wide open threes because Shea Alexander is getting a lot of double teams, and he's an absolute fucking monster. He's a top 10 player. There's no top 10, top 20, top 30, top 40 maybe even player on the Magic. So I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't go for it.
He had to shoulder a much heavier load.
Yeah,
and so
I got to give it to Buddy.
To be as efficient doing that. But at the same time, I need to see better efficiency, bro.
No, for sure. Like, of course, like, analytics and everything matters, and it's going to matter a little bit more. And if people want to foo-foo it, poo-poo it, that's on y'all. Like, this is the new NBA. But I can't not give someone scoring 20 points a game. And it's a rookie award. If this was, like, most improved or, like, MVP or some shit, of course, I'll, nitpick some shit. But they're rookies, dude. I don't expect that much from them.
I don't have too much beef with it. I'm just, like, winning before everything all the time.
I got you.
You know what I mean?
I can't do it for rookies. Like, rookies are going to be fucking rookies. Like, they're never really on a good team. So,
will you do it for most improved?
Winning? Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Let's talk most improved then. All right?
Maybe.
I got a short list and I got a long list.
Oh, right. God. Damn, can you give me 3? Why you got a long list?
I got a long list.
Yo, give me 3.
No, I'm going 5. 5 to 1.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Jesus Christ, 5.
Most improved player number 5 this season.
Scotty Oh, my bad.
Trey Murphy. Okay. Trey Murphy, not only has he made like over 183s this season, but he's also had 150 dunks. He's the dunk contest. He's turned himself into a legitimate 3-and-D guy who can actually dribble. He's probably the best dude attacking closeouts, like against a moving defense in the whole NBA and the whole NBA right now. And it's like one of the few guys that can like legitimately pop a 3 from 4 feet behind the 3-point line in your face, or pump fake, take one dribble and bang it on the center, like poster style.
I like Murphy. So, Murphy's great.
Yeah. Second-year player. He's improved a ton. Great shooter, great athlete. Trey Murphy, he's number 5 on the list. Number 4 on my list, a guy who kind of got hung out to dry by his teammates, a guy who didn't really have a lot of continuity, whether it was coaching or with people who were around him. He still played like a defensive player of the year candidate. Nick Claxton is my 4th most improved player of the year. Hyper-efficient shooter, finished second behind Walker Kessler in effective field goal percentage. He had like 3.5 stocks a game between his blocks and his steals.
Yeah.
He was like one of the best switching defenders in the whole NBA. He leveled up, certainly. Nick Claxton's my number 4. You got anything you want to say about Nick?
He was number 3 for me, man. I mean, he was a absolute huge reason why they were, starting to look like a semblance of a good team. Because Seth Curry, no defense. Joe Harris, no defense. Kyrie Irving, horrible defender. Kyrie, horrible defender. If you want to watch comedy, watch Garrett defend him on his defense. So what was this, like a year and a half ago?
Have you seen him defend the world being flat? He made a pretty flat case.
Yeah, okay. Anyways, Claxton, you did a fucking great job being an anchor on a team that really fucking needed you, man. They needed you bad. You know, yeah, he's not like Brook Lopez, but he's almost there for me. If he had some more girth on him, he could do a lot more. But for who he is and what he needed and what the Nets needed, he did a good job, man. I'll give it to him.
Thank you, sir. Number 3 on my list. Some might say that he's worse than D Rose. Some might say that he's an all-star. I'm going with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
Jalen Brunson, he increased his scoring 8 points a game from 16 to 24. His assists jumped from 4.5 to 6.2.
Mm-hmm.
His 3-point percentage jumped along with his volume of attempts. And he's second in the entire NBA in charges drawn per game as a point guard. We saw how the Mavericks went all the way down once they got rid of Jalen Brunson. And Luka's talking like candidly, like, yeah, we really miss him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then we see the Knicks, who went from the draft lottery to 13 games above 500 at one point this season with Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
So I think he's the straw that stirs the drink in New York. I think he's the biggest reason they've improved, not Julius Randle. His internal improvement individually has been great. He's the leader of the team. He keeps everyone accountable. He's an extension of Tom Thibodeau to the rest of the roster and, like, you know, kind of amplifies his message and is a liaison to the locker room for the coach. He just does a lot of stuff that affects winning, which is number 1 in my criteria, which is why he was number 3.
Nah, he definitely does. And he was not number 2. He was my number 2. So that means I'm leaving out somebody crazy, right? On my number 1.
Might be.
Not anything crazy. Jalen Brunson, bro.
Wait a minute. You are leaving out somebody crazy. Wait a minute. Hold on. If you don't have one of these two guys, you are tripping off some fucking acid, sir.
Not there. Anyways.
Are you being racist today? Is that what's going on?
No, I'm not being racist.
Okay. All right. I just want to check.
I didn't do anything crazy. Look, you said everything. Plus the dude's clutch. Julius Randle who? He made Julius Randle back into a good player. Julius was about to get kicked off the fucking Knicks, I'm telling you. If he had another bad season, he'd fuck.
When we did our season preview, I asked you, would you rather have Julius Randle for $40 million or his son for 1? He said, I'd rather have his son for 1.
No, for sure. But he never played with a real point guard before. And that's what Jalen Brunson is. And he's a scorer and a playmaker. He's
Luka. A fucking basketball player, bro.
Yeah, Luka. Sorry, Luka. The Mavs should have gave him that extension. 4 years for 54. When you think about that, you just laugh.
Just wait till you see these text messages between myself and Rick Brunson. Fucking Mark Cuban, you a clown, bro. Showing off text messages from 2 years ago.
Oh, man. But nah, man, I mean, like you said, dude's he's a walking bucket, 24 a game. I know the NBA is weird with all the counting stats like points per game this year, but I think he's bona fide because even if you did per 36 last year for him, he was around 20. So it's like it's not even a conversation. He's an absolute beast. He's clutch as fuck. Anybody who shoots 40 from 3 is an absolute monster. So I got to give it to him.
Number 3 on my list. Number 2 on my list.
Which one? Markkanen or SGA?
Lowry. Lowry is number 2.
Number 2.
I put him number 2 because I recognize how good he was last year. And I said when our Cleveland Cavaliers preview, I was like, they're not going to finish as good as they were because they don't have a 7-foot small forward who can post up, shoot threes, and dunk in people's face.
Yeah.
And I was like, people don't understand how good he was for Cleveland last year.
Yeah.
Even considering all that, he stepped up like considerably. In year 6, by the way, boosted his PER by 7.5 points.
Yeah.
Boosted his scoring average by 11 points. Boosted his true shooting percentage by 7 points.
Mm-hmm.
Like, his efficiency, it went up. His scoring went up to 26 points a game. His free throw rate went through the roof. Like, 2 years ago, he was going to free throw line at 16% of all his attempts. Now, 23%.
Yeah. Big
increase. He's first in points per touch among all players who have played in 50 or more games. Embiid is third behind Lowry, Markkanen, and that. And He was the first player in NBA history to make 200 threes and have 100 dunks in the same season. So I got to give it up for the finisher. Going back to Finland this offseason to complete his mandatory military training. I guess we can assume the Jazz won't be in the playoffs.
Nah, he had a fantastic season. But there's a few factors as to why I had him at number 4. And it was close, bro. Like, I should have put him 3 ahead of Claxton, but then, like, I saw Claxton really fucking, like, the Nets needed Claxton. You know what I'm saying? And they're in the playoffs, and they're still in the playoffs. He's kind of a big reason why they didn't free fall all the way out. And they had a huge lead anyways. But the Jazz, I just can't give Lauri Markkanen credit for us thinking that the Jazz are supposed to be shit. Because me and you looked at the roster, and we said they're going to be a good team. They were what we thought they were. So I'm not going to sit here and, like, overreact to things that we saw from him last year.
Yeah,
just because he got featured.
Good. I didn't think that he'd be dropping 26 a game.
He was beasting. No, for real, he was beasting. But, like,
I thought he'd maybe get 20. 26 is a different stratosphere.
But here's my thing. Western Conference bigs and forwards, kind of trash. All-star nod, love it. But, you know, Brunson actually had to go against people while he wasn't an all-star that were actually good in the East as far as, like, his position card-wise. So I can't give him a huge
And he had to beat out Derrick Rose every day in practice.
For his solo team. But not like, but besides, like, that's one factor on it. Lauri was good last year. Brunson was good, but he wasn't this fucking good last year. I don't know, man. Like, the West being weak, he gets the all-star nod. Lauri's a fucking monster, but the Jazz aren't making the playoffs. The Knicks are making the playoffs. The next guy I'm going to talk about, SGA, they're going to probably make the playoffs. They're close. And their expectations were way lower with the injuries. And then Nick Claxton. The Nets are fucking way better than what the fuck we thought they were going to be. So I got to give them credit. Lauri, sorry.
Tough deal, but if you're a 50, 40, 90 guy scoring 26 points a game, I'm probably going to put you on my short list.
Hey, good shit. It's good shit, but you're not able to make the playoffs. If you don't make the playoffs, I don't care. And you're not a rookie, dog. This is like your 5th year in the NBA. Six, whatever. Yeah. 5th or 6th year, like, come on.
Yeah.
If you're your lead guy, make the playoffs.
Let's talk some SGA then. Both of us have him as our most improved player. I kind of set the precedent last year when I picked John Morant as the most improved player. It's like the biggest jump you can take is becoming a superstar. So SGA did that this year. He went from being a fringe all-star to a guaranteed MVP ballot guy. So he scored over 31 points a game. He's made more freebies than any other player in the league.
Oh, the free throws is crazy.
Yeah, in terms of the free throws. He's the best mid-range shooter in the entire NBA and went from shooting 3.5 shots in mid-range to 6.5 this year and is making over 50% of them. And defensively, he is the only guard in the NBA who averaged at least 1 block and 1 steal. So I got to give it up, man. I mean, two-way player, offensive force, can't stop him from getting to the basket. If you do, he's just going to pull up from mid-range and make it. Like, he's a fucking beast, and his game has gone through the roof. It's crazy what happens when you let good players play a whole NBA season, right?
No, that's for sure, man. Look, the dude, he deserves every single thing that's coming to him this year. In a way, I thought I was going to sneak him out because we kind of did the shit with Ja last year. But I was like, I mean, if somebody goes from 30 to fringe 10 or top 10, I think he deserves the shit. And 31 a game, that's not anything to sniff at. Oh, but the league's different. It's faster. They're just better. This dude's really good. He's good. You can't stop him. You can't stop this dude. He's clutch. OKC shouldn't have won 30 games this year, let alone almost 40. So it's like, what do you want me to do with that? The dude's an absolute monster, bro. He's an absolute monster. Like, should have been an all-star starter.
And like you said, he's now definitively a top 10 player in the NBA, where before he was like top 20 to 35. That's a huge jump.
He was more around the 30 spot, so it's like, I mean, you got to give him credit, man.
And it's a lot harder to jump from 30 to 10 than it is to jump from 80 to 50.
Nah, for sure. And like you were saying about his free throws, he shot 10% more or better. Like, he's shooting 90% from the free throw line. with the most free throws in the game.
Yeah.
That's fucking buckets right there. Dude's a monster, man. And like we were saying, OKC is hot garbage without him. Like absolute hot garbage. So I gotta give him. He's the most improved. I don't think it's close. It's a huge gap. Huge.
I agree. I couldn't agree more. Let's do Defensive Player of the Year next.
Oh, I already know who you're going to go with. Go ahead. I want you to go first. I feel like I know who you're going with. I can't give it to the guys. Go ahead.
All right, I'm going backwards from
3-1.
4-1.
Oh my God. Just do 3. It's an official ballot.
I thought, well, the official ballot is 5, but
we don't need that. 3.
Yeah. I thought there were only 4 candidates who could be considered, so I wanted to talk about all 4. The first one for me coming in number 4 was Nick Claxton. He's the most versatile defender in the entire NBA. He had the best points given up per shot on switches out of anyone in the NBA. He was second in the entire NBA in shots contested per game with 12. And he was the only reason the Brooklyn Nets had a top 10 defense for the majority of the year. So I got to give Nick Claxton some love. The most versatile switchy defender in the league, protects the rim, averages 3.5 blocks and steals, contests 12 shots a game. Like, my goodness. You should be in the conversation, at least. And he wasn't for many people. So I wanted to make sure he was in mine. Was he on your short list?
Nick Claxton? I mean, he's on the 1 past 3. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm glad I talked about him then. But now let's get to the main 3 candidates that everyone's talking about, right?
No, you're right. But the official ballot has 10, which is stupid. But go ahead.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. Every award has 10.
I'm supposed to go all the way down to OG Anunoby?
Nah. You don't have to. You just vote for 3. And I think you just vote for like 3 or 5. And whoever gets names, they just are a part of it. And it goes to 10. That's all.
All right. Well, I did have 5. I fucked it up.
Go ahead.
Claxton was my 4. My 5 was Alex Caruso. He's the best perimeter defender in the NBA.
No.
Yes, it's not even close.
Drew Holiday.
No.
Oh, God.
He played 69 games this year. He played almost 70 games. Led the league in steal rate by a gigantic margin, not even close. Mm-hmm. And was also 27th in block rate. Not amongst guards, amongst all players in the NBA. A point guard was 27th in block rate.
He's a beast. He's a beast.
Yeah, man. Including 7-footers, rim protectors, everything. When Caruso was on the floor, the Bulls gave up 106 points per 100 possessions, which would be the best defense in the NBA.
Yeah.
With him off the court, they gave up 113. So he guards everybody. He gets hella steals. He doesn't gamble to get the steals. Like, he just picks your fucking pocket or, like, gets right in the passing lane. He doesn't sacrifice anything, you know what I mean, when he gets those blocks and steals. Mm-hmm. He can guard any position pretty much, like, 1 through 4. Like, protects the rim, picks your pocket on the other end, knows his identity and his calling card is coming on that end of the floor and brings it every night. I think Alex Caruso is the best perimeter defender in the NBA, and it's not close. So that's why he was number 5.
He's good.
Number 3, Terry, is Jaren Jackson Jr., the people's favorite, the betting favorite to win the award. He's blocked 9.8% of all shots this season, which is a number that's only bested by Manute Bol.
That's crazy.
In an era when you played with 2 bigs and you were close to the basket and nobody shot threes and you got a ton more blocks.
Go ahead. Tell him the minutes.
Still doing that in the modern era, switching on to guards. He's second behind Nick Claxton in terms of, like, points allowed on switches, eating people up on the perimeter. And
his advanced stats are crazy.
Yeah, I mean, he blocking 4 shots a game? You know, his rim protection numbers are crazy.
There's 3 blocks a game.
Terry, Jaren Jackson Jr. has played less minutes this season than Malcolm Brogdon.
That's true. Keep the same energy when it comes. Keep this same energy when it comes to NBA awards, All NBA and shit. All right. When I hear certain names, I don't want to hear them names. I'm just saying.
Well, they're different. They're different criteria and different awards. So no, I'm not going to do that.
Steph Curry. All right. I'm just saying. Yeah, I don't want to hear Steph or Dame.
Hey, I'm making Steph's on my All NBA team. If he's not on yours, you need to reevaluate your fucking life.
I'm just saying, if somebody's playing a certain amount of minutes and we don't want to reward them.
The 15 best players in the league this season? Is that really what you think?
No, all I'm saying is Jaren Jackson Jr. is the best defender in the league, and I understand his minutes are way lower.
The best defender in the league. You can't be the best defender in the league when you play less than 30 minutes a game. When you foul out on over half of your contests.
I'm not trying to hear this total minute shit.
Go 27 minutes a game, Terry.
Go ahead. 28.9. Go ahead.
Yeah, 28. Not 28.9. 28. It's also not 28.9.
Whatever.
This morning.
Life changes. Go ahead.
All right. Either way, I'll get to the other top candidates, but Jaren Jackson Jr. has played 700 minutes less than Brook Lopez.
Cool.
Which goes out to around...
He played way less. He played way less minutes.
Yeah, 24 games less than Brook Lopez.
Yeah, he played way less minutes, yeah.
And
he definitely did.
36 games less than Evan Mobley.
He played way less minutes.
36 games, Terry.
Yeah,
that's too big of a goal for me. That's way too big of a goal for me. Evan Mobley's played more than twice his minutes.
Hey,
you've been on the court more than twice as long. You're not the best defender if you can't be on the court.
I'm gonna let you get your shit off, but honestly, between him and Brook Lopez, when I was looking at the totals, I was like, if Jaren Jackson Jr. played this much more minutes than you, the counting numbers wouldn't be this close to each other. That's all I'm saying. But he
can't play more because he fouled out.
Keep going. No,
he fouled out twice this week, Terry.
You're good. Keep going.
All right. I'm just saying. So he's number 3. I know everyone in the world has a number 1, but he's number 3 for me.
Yeah.
All right. Brook Lopez is number 2 for me. He's played 700 more minutes than Jaren Jackson Jr., which is 23 more games. He leads the NBA in total blocks, over 170 blocks.
Mm-hmm.
Leads the NBA in block percentage, blocking 67.1 is his block percentage at the rim. God.
People aren't shooting against him like that. That's insane.
Jesus Christ.
That's Mutombo. That's Mutombo Olajuwon shit.
Yeah, his return from back injury is the reason that the Bucks went from 14th on defense to 2 this year.
You hear that, Giannis?
And his activity is unsurpassed. He's contested 1,162 shots this season. Second place is Evan Mobley at 750.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's 500 more shots.
Mobley is good too, and fucking Lopez, man. Holy shit.
Yep. Which is why Evan Mobley is my number 1. He's my defensive player of the year this year.
Good shit.
He plays on the number 1 D in the league.
Mm-hmm.
He's the best defender. He has the best on-off impact in the whole NBA. He's first in defensive win shares. He's first in defensive real plus-minus. He's first in luck-adjusted DRAPM, which accounts for the shot quality and the if they make it and everything.
Yeah.
He's played over 1,000 minutes more than Jaren Jackson Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Top 5 in the league in minutes across all positions as a fucking center, which is crazy.
Yeah.
As you know that.
He's a beast.
He's got quick feet. He's got a 7'4" wingspan. He's got some of the best time in the league. He's got great anticipation. He can switch onto guards. Mm-hmm. Only Nick Claxton defended more isolations this season, and Mobley held him to only 0.8 points per screen when he was the defender. Only Brook Lopez contested more shots, and opponents shot just 41% in the paint when Mobley was the closest defender, which was one of the 3 lowest numbers in the NBA. It's just everything together,
monster.
Man.
Yeah, he's a fucking monster. I agree with you on the names. I only got one gripe. You know who's number 1. Stop playing with me. I'm gonna go 3-1, no 4. Actually, I'll give you Brook Lopez at 4. Brook Lopez is at 4, and he's going to be the ode of the last big man that'll probably be towards the top because this new NBA, it's done. His numbers, blocking-wise, absolutely incredible. But a lot of games when you watch, he's doing that drop coverage shit. I think that type of defense is done, man. These guards are cooking these dudes. I understand Brook is getting his block percentage is crazy. But when you watch a lot of their games, the reason why he's getting a lot of these contests, motherfuckers be open. They give it to a big man that sucks. Big man's like, oh shit, Brook. He puts up some bullshit. Brook either gets it or they miss it or they just pass it out. I like switchability more than I like dudes that just block a bunch of shots. That's why I wasn't one of those people that was like, go Bears, the fucking outright defensive player of the year for, well, how many did he win in a row? 3? Yeah. Which is fucking ridiculous. I think Draymond should have got 1 or 2 at least.
Absolutely.
So for me, number 3 is Draymond. Well, no.
Number 3 is Draymond.
I switched it up. I had Draymond at 2, but then I was like, nah, Mobley's a fucking beast. And Jaren Jackson's
How can you lose 35 games on the road and make an All-NBA team?
Hey.
And you give up like 120 points away from home. How can that happen?
When he's on the floor, it's only 111 for 100 possessions. Look at the team, dude. The team is fucking absolutely garbage at defense. Steph is horrible.
No, you're absolutely right.
Steph.
Draymond is a great defender. But it's there are levels to this, and your team has been fucking terrible.
He is the main reason why they're afloat. Like, Steph missed a lot of games this year. Klay Thompson, I mean, he's making a resurgence, but horrible at defense. He's not like himself at defense. Jordan Poole, really bad at defense. They had Wiseman for like the first, I don't know how many games. He had to deal with that fucking experiment. Kuminga, athletic, does some things, gets lost. They didn't have their actual best defender, which is in Wiggins. Maybe first or second is an argument, but they didn't have him.
Yeah, and Gary Payton failed his physical.
Exactly. So they had no Payton. There's really no other defender on the team except for Draymond Green. He played 71 games. His minutes, I believe, he's like 1,000 or 900 more than Jaren Jackson. Cool. He's around the same with Mobley, but he's the glue. If he didn't punch Poole, I think he probably would have gotten more love. I haven't really heard his name.
If he didn't punch Poole, the Warriors probably got the 1 seed.
Yeah. Now, like, when you think about it, bro, like, dude deserves a lot more credit. Like, Brook Lopez, I love you, dog, but you're not switching on guards. You're out there.
Wait a minute. He deserves more credit for submarining their season and punching his teammate in the face.
It's not just his fault. Steph has been hurt for 32 games.
Dude, how's that his fault? We talked about the fact that they're so bad on the road because of what he did. Like, directly. Like, I'm not putting you on Defensive Player of the Year when you submarine your whole team and ruin their season.
Their team defensively. I like it. Hey,
my eyeballs tell me Draymond Green is one of the 3 best defenders in the NBA.
I got you.
There's no doubt about that. I don't disagree that he's one of the 3 best defenders. But this year, I cannot recognize you as Defensive Player of the Year after how you blew your team apart and they've been fucking awful away from home, like half the season, man.
It's not his fault.
Splitting hairs.
He's the glue. I got you. If I'm splitting hairs, I'm splitting the big man out of the hairs. They're gone. No big men. This big man shit's done. This is done.
Caruso, Drew Holiday, and Jalen McDaniels.
Drew Holiday, he's going to make an NBA team. Caruso's going to make an NBA team, all defensive. But Drew Holiday might make an all-NBA third. You never know with these ballots. But I'm just saying, he deserves some credit. And I get it. Humans are humans. Your perspective is different from mine. I agree with you on, like, in terms of the season, didn't go as well. But for getting them to be afloat when the West was all over the place and they could have tanked, like, they could have been bad. I got to give him the majority of the credit for keeping them where they are. Number 6 in the West. Number 2, Mobley. Like you said.
Don't do it.
Number two is Mobley, dog. Number 2 is Mobley.
Oh my God! You really put Jaren Jackson as
Mobley. Listen to me. Mobley.
I can't believe it.
What is up? What's wrong with you? What's the problem? He's the best defender in the league. This year, he's been the best defender of the league.
When they played the same amount of minutes.
Hey, where's Matisse Thybulle?
The best defender of the league. He played 25 minutes a game. You can't win.
The best defenders
of the year when somebody plays twice as many.
Hear me out.
Almost as good.
Hear me out. Matisse Thybulle got traded. The best defensive players in the league don't get traded. I'm just saying.
No, I'm saying previously.
I know.
The last 4 years, we can all look and see Matisse Thybulle the best defender.
No, I know. I got you.
He played 30 minutes a game, so it's like we can't give it to him.
Nah, he wasn't even close to like 18 or 20. Like come on. I can't with the Matisse. But
hey, the principle remains. Go ahead.
No. Mobley, number 1 defensive team. you get all the credit for that. You and Jared Allen, who is also a really good fucking defender. Block-wise, I don't know about actually guarding post, possessions and shit, Jared Allen.
Still a little light in the ass.
Yeah. So I'll give Mobley credit on that. Donovan Mitchell looked a bit better defensively. Wasn't a complete fucking cheese board. Just people just going through his shit like it's nothing. Who's the other guard? Darius Garland. Not really the greatest defender I've ever seen, but he gives a lot of effort. A lot of the number one defensive shit goes to Mobley, but I still got to give credit to the scheme. I think the coach has done a good job, with what he has and helping them become a really good defensive team. But with that being said, Jaren Jackson Jr. is a fucking monster, dog. I understand that he's played way less minutes. He's played the second most minutes in foul trouble of anybody. He's played 1,000 less minutes. But at the end of the day, your boy Ja's a shooter. Your boy Bane has been hurt. Dylan Brooks has been hurt. Steven Adams gone. Your second center tore his ACL with 20 to 30 games left. The glue. It's been a season of glue. And Jaren Jackson the span of which Ja and a lot of his guys were out, Jaren Jackson not only carried the offensive load, but defensively, his numbers per 100 possessions.
Which he'll never play. He'll never play 100 possessions.
They're first in the NBA when he's on the court. And they're 20th when he's off the court. He is the main reason why they are even
Do you know what was the most important phrase you just used?
No, go ahead.
On the court.
Hey, no, you're right. He has an argument against him. But
let me ask you this question. What percentage, if you had to put it, how much better on defense has Jaren Jackson been this season than Evan Mobley? If you had to put a percentage to quantify it.
Man.
15%?
Enough for me to give it to him. 3 blocks?
20%?
3 blocks?
Are we talking 25%? Is he 25% better than Evan Mobley on defense?
Bro, 3 blocks a game is nothing to sniff at, man. For somebody who he's not just a big, just fucking blocking shots. And he's getting 1 steal. And he's grabbing boards. He's switching.
You realize that fouls are a stat as well that leads directly to points for the other team, right?
Hey, I know.
So my logic is this.
You'll never give anybody like him an award for anything, right?
My logic is this. Jaren Jackson, for me, would have to be 100% better than Evan Mobley on defense, since Evan Mobley has played 100% more minutes than Jaren Jackson.
No, he has.
That's my math. It's pretty simple for me.
I got you. You're never going to give it up.
If you play the equivalent of 36 games more than the next person and it's neck and neck, I'm going to give it to the guy who played nearly a half a season more of basketball.
So it's not going to happen for you, huh?
If it was 8 games, I'd be like, oh, I understand. It's 35 games, Terry.
But hold on. I get that he's good at defense, but Jaren Jackson is number 1 in all the stats. Not totals, every averaged out defensive metric, every averaged out
because he
everything.
Plays 28 minutes a game. That's what I'm saying.
So you think it counts a lot much better? He's getting 3 blocks a game.
He's the defense per 36. He's the defense per 36. JaVale McGee. He'll never play 36 minutes a game his whole career.
29 is enough.
30 minutes a game his whole career.
He will.
And we're talking about this guy who played.
He'll figure it out.
He played less than Malcolm Brogdon, who we all acknowledge is a bench player. And you want to give him Defensive Player of the Year?
He'll figure it out.
A bench player.
It's fucking fantastic. Fuck it. Hey, you're
pretty great, but
your argument
better than Evan Mobley.
Your argument is great. It is, but he's really good defensively, man. This year's been great, man.
But you can't foul out twice a week, bro. I'm sorry. You have got to be playing more minutes than Tyus Jones, your backup point guard, if you want to win Defensive Player of the Year.
Hold on.
Not Defensive Player of the quarter. Not Defensive Player of the last 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. Defensive Player of the Year.
Let me look at the totals real quick, and then I'll give it up to you if they're totals and Jaren Jackson has more blocks and steals, then I don't want to hear anything else. Let me look at the totals. Jaren Jackson Jr. has more steals and blocks. Okay, I'm done.
Right. But what is his game based around?
Doesn't matter.
He jumps out all the time out of position, gives up easy offensive rebounds. Like he just
Come on, bro.
like he's fucking Hassan Whiteside, and we want to go out here and be like blocks and steals are everything. I gave you 5 fucking advanced stats that all said Evan Mobley is
I told you
the best defender.
Jackson's number 2.
Defensive win shares, defensive plus minus, luck adjusting, and he's still first. And you want to talk to me about counting stats and blocks?
I said, bro, Jackson is in the top 5 of all of those. Oh, Mobley's killing him. Mobley's killing him.
10 best defenders of all time because he averaged 2 blocks and 2 steals a game. That's what you're saying right now. That's
3 blocks is 3. It's not 2. And he's still a good defender.
You know who also averaged 3 blocks a game? Larry Sanders.
Oh my God! Oh, one guy in all of the history of the NBA.
Hassan Whiteside, another guy like that.
Did he get Defensive Player of the Year once?
No,
because they know what he was doing, chasing him. Jared Jackson's not chasing him.
You have got to play NBA basketball.
I get it.
NBA Defensive Player of the Year.
Hey,
you can't be 8th on your team in minutes played.
Hey,
Defensive Player of the Year.
Is Kevin Durant going to be All NBA this year? No.
I don't know. Look at
he won't. 40
games.
So? 40 games.
Oh, 40? That's it?
Steph, 58.
40's too low.
58. I swear to you, we agree on the minutes thing all the time. But this year, it's a wonky year, and I'm going to give it to wonky motherfuckers this year.
Yeah,
I have to.
Listen, I can't argue against that logic, but if it's neck and neck and you play 35 more games than the other guy,
hey, if it's neck and neck and Steph plays 58, you know what I'm saying, and like fucking Jalen Brunson plays 70.
But that's the thing; it's not neck and neck. Steph is like way better than guard in the NBA.
I'd like to.
That's the defensive player of the year. A stare to debate. I'm with it.
That one took a while.
I like guys who play. You like guys who foul and sit next to the coach on the bench.
I like guys who play normally, but this year is just a weird year, so I got to give it to him. This is the only year he'll win it. If he doesn't play 30 minutes next year, he'll never win it again.
What do we have left? Clutch player of the year. Jerry West, clutch player of the year.
Coach and clutch, right? That's it?
Yeah, I think so. All right, you want to do clutch or coach first?
I think we'll agree on this, but go ahead. Who do you want? Coach.
Let's do clutch.
Clutch? You want to do clutch?
Yeah, let's stick with the players, then we'll go to the coach. Number 3 in my clutch player of the year.
John Morant. Oh, no. The worst clutch star in the league.
Right.
Ja.
Number 1 for clutch rehab of the year. I'll tell you that. Number 3 for me, though, is Joel Embiid. Now, Terry, I know a lot of other guys have gotten a lot of recognition for their scoring in the clutch situation, but I wanted to zoom out a little bit and look at like how the whole team did when you were in the clutch.
Yeah. When
the 76ers were in the clutch, Embiid was a season best out of any player in the NBA, plus 99. So it's like he saves his best defense for the last 4 minutes of the game. We know that. You know what I mean? Saves it up in the tank. Turns into a completely different player over there. If it's a close game, the fouling is going to put a lean on you. Talking about like who's going to be able to guard him in the last 2 minutes. Is it going to be your third big because Jaren Jackson Jr. and Steven Adams are on the bench having fouled out? I don't know. And obviously we know his scoring exploits. He's been stupid good with the ball in his hands. But it's just like in the clutch time, he's not just scoring. He's blocking shots. He's getting rebounds. He's doing it all. They're best plus 99 when he plays in the clutch. He's my number 3 on my Jerry West.
Joel Embiid is the number 3. Remember that number, everyone. The number 3 clutch player in the league. Got it. Noted.
Number 3. Number 2 is Jimmy Butler, who just put a stake in Joel Embiid's heart last night. He did. By 25 points. He's been clutch all season long. The Heat have the worst offense in the NBA, but have grinded their way into the playoffs due to Butler's clutch scoring. Every single fourth quarter, they go in it like down 3 or 4, and then Butler leads them to a 2-point victory. He's second in the NBA in clutch scoring. He's super efficient. He never turns the ball over.
Mm-hmm.
And he plays great clutch defense. Jimmy Buckets, my number 2 clutch player.
Hey, I'll just like to say one thing about that.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat have the number... Oh, wait, no. They're the worst fucking team. And behind the Rockets, and behind the Jazz, and behind the Hornets, and behind every team that sucks in offense. I don't care what Jimmy Butler's doing.
They're worst. That's what I'm saying.
I don't care.
Yet, they're making the playoffs. Like,
I don't
that's
care.
how good he's doing the clutch.
I don't care.
They can't score, and Jimmy Butler's like, hey, keep it close to the fourth quarter. All right?
You can't go from...
5 in the last 5 minutes, I'll take this one.
You can't go from number 1 to number 7. Sorry, Jimmy. I love you, but no. You can't go from the number 1 seeded team to the number 7 seeded team in the East. I don't give a fuck about injuries or none of that shit.
You pegged them at 7.
I'm just saying, though. Yeah, no one else did it, though. No one else did. Everyone else was like, Miami's top 4 at least. They're fucking garbage.
You saw it coming. Like, you knew they were going to have all these problems. So what's the problem with Jimmy?
No. I'm not giving it to him or any of those people that, they got the clutch, but they suck. I'm out.
Well, I'm giving it to De'Aaron Fox. This is my winner. He's going to be your winner. He's going to be everyone's winner of the first inaugural Jerry West Award. He scored 180 clutch points, which is 50 more than Jimmy Butler, who's in second place. He has multiple game winners. He's doing it off the dribble. He's hitting threes. He's not just attacking the basket like crazy out of control. De'Aaron Fox has been the most potent scorer in crunch time, and it's not close. He's the Jerry West clutch player of the year.
He is very clutch. I like him a lot. I don't know if I can go with him, though. I'm not sure. No, I'm just playing. He's the clutches. He's been super clutch for them. It's kind of weird, seeing... I like the numbers. I like how the numbers are coming into play. Because, I feel like in some of the past years, we just look at some moments and be like, oh, Jason Tatum, we saw him hit a game winner.
Melo had 3 game winners.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean?
Yeah, so, damn. If they would have came out with this, I feel like Kobe wouldn't even have won some of these awards. Or maybe he would have. I don't know. Because if you're looking at the numbers, you'd be like, Kobe, I mean, you hit 4 game winners, but you were 4 for 64 all year. I don't know, brother. But yeah, De'Aaron Fox, he's a guy. This award is weird, man. It's a very fucking weird award.
First year. It's going to feel weird the first time. You know what I mean?
It's strange, but De'Aaron Fox is definitely the clutchest player in the league. He definitely helped the Kings win a lot of games.
Joel Embiid 2 and 3.
Joel Embiid was second for me. I think he did a good job of dragging.
I'm surprised because when you look at the betting odds for this award, Joel Embiid is not listed amongst the favorites.
See, that's the thing for me, bro. They got Jimmy Butler and DeMar DeRozan and
DeMar DeRozan was second in the betting odds.
And I'm just like, come on, bro. These dudes, they're good players and they're clutch. Don't get me wrong, they're clutch. But in my heart, clutch means winning games. I can't give it to someone that's below a 5 seed.
It's not just making contested turnaround mid-range jumpers. It's also getting a stop afterwards.
And it's also winning the game. Stop it. For me, an unprecedented player is actually going to be the number 3. And it was Donovan Mitchell, bro. Donovan Mitchell was my number 3, man. He's been
terrible in the game situations. What are you talking about?
Nah, he's my number 3.
2 games in
Don't look at the numbers. Don't look at the numbers. The numbers tell you.
If you look at the numbers, he's not anywhere close either.
Don't look at the numbers. We're doing the Kobe Bryant thing. The shit I shitted on.
Okay. Yeah. All right. He's 70 twice. Okay.
Gotta give it to him. Look. And Darius Garland had a horrible shooting percentage in the fourth quarter and all that type of shit. You guys gotta stop it. Stop it. If you get the bucket, you score the point, you win the game. Okay? Stop with this dumb shit.
They lost 2 games in OT against the Atlanta Hawks this year.
The Hawks got their number. Look, Mitchell is clutch. And I would like to say, besides Embiid and maybe Jokic, I think he might be up there for me as the last person to get the ball, at the end of the game. I like Tatum. His numbers are kind of crazy. Ja, we already talked about, is probably one of the worst clutch players I've ever seen in my fucking life. But Donovan this year, and Jalen Brunson, he's kind of up there.
Yeah, Jalen Brunson, I'd have ahead of Donovan for sure.
Yeah, but getting me 70 in a close game, and he was clutching it out. I mean, that moment for me, that might have been enough. I mean, dude's a fucking absolute monster. Played a lot of games.
He won the Kobe Bryant 81 Olives Award. Congratulations. We'll give it up. You know what? You can have one sentimental one. You don't have to go analytics.
No, look, the funny thing about it is, like, on every website, they would do the award, and it was just like, all right, De'Aaron Fox is winning. Like, we don't really care who's second and third. De'Aaron Fox is the winner of this award. Cool. Here it is. Take your trophy, go home.
And Embiid should get more mention, man. When you're like first in the NBA in clutch plus minus, and it's by a gigantic margin, you probably should be on the short list for the betting favorites.
You should be. Fox? I don't know. I mean, like, Fox, he dragged those boys, though. And Sacramento, they kind of fell off the last 20 games, but we're going to keep that quiet. We're going to sweep that under the rug because it's a good story. Coach of the year, Mike Brown. We're already we're an hour and a half in. The Kings are absolute fucking beasts.
Mike Brown's winning Coach of the Year, 16-year playoff drought. Like, they're the number 3 seed. Go ahead and wrap it up now and give it to Mike Brown. We know
who's second. Who's second?
I got the coach of the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Mark Daniel.
He did a good job.
We thought that they were going to be a bottom 3 team. They ended up making the playoffs. SGA improved a ton. All of the young players really improved, from Kenrich Williams to both Jalen Williams to Josh Giddey to I'm forgetting somebody. Oh, Kenrich Williams.
The other Williams, yeah. The other Williams kid is good. For me, second is Jacques Vaughn.
No, what?
Second, Jacques Vaughn. Look at the record.
I'm so sick of this shit.
Look at the record after Nash left.
You literally did the Jaren Jackson Jr. with coaches. This is disgusting.
What, an interim coach can't win?
No.
That's crazy.
You're not even a coach. Like, you're not even a full-time NBA coach. You're an interim coach.
What's the dude for Man U? You're doing that to him?
Yeah, Rolf Ragnick. John Ragnick.
I don't know. The job that Jacques Vaughn did after coming in, and even with KD and Kyrie leaving, I think it's honestly fantastic. It really is. The
best decision he made was sending Ben Simmons back to Sydney.
He doesn't play him. Good decisions. Steve Nash was like, get in there, Ben. You got this. Nash, horrible coach. After that,
Jacques Vaughn is like, we're going to talk about amnestying your contract this summer, Ben. Actually,
no, hold on. Correct me if I'm wrong. I looked it up. Let me scroll to it. The Jacques Vaughn record after Nash left. 36 and 26.
Yeah, that's Coach of the Year stuff.
Yeah. Shitty team. I mean, all the 26 is like after fucking KD and Kyrie left. It's like,
yeah, I'm not giving an interim coach who's not even going to be the coach next year.
So who's second? Who's third? Who's third? Missoula?
Eric Spoelstra. He's still the best coach.
Missoula. No, you can't go from 1 to 7. I'm out.
Missoula's a terrible coach. I don't know what you're talking about.
They're second in the East.
Man, they fucking hate him.
They're second in the East. What did they think he was going to win 60 games?
Their team dramatically, it got worse. Like,
hold
how
on.
do you think that happens?
No.
Joe Missoula, the clapper. That's all he knows how to do.
Stop listening to Bill Simmons, man. It's just him and like 20 people he talks to.
It's all Celtics fans.
Oh, God.
He's terrible. They lost to the Magic twice in 1 week. Like, and the Magic were trying to lose.
They struggled for a second?
We're not doing Joe Missoula. Eric Spoelstra, though, he's still the best coach in the
NBA. 1 seed to 7 seed? Stop it.
You called it. You predicted this. I don't know why you're acting surprised now.
Because
the factors that led to this point.
I'm only surprised because you're giving him an award or any Heat player any recognition for this whole season. I'm not doing it. He
deserves recognition. Terry, the team has the most games in the NBA missed to injury. They're the lowest scoring team in the NBA. And yet, they're always in close games. They're making the playoffs.
Everybody missed for injuries.
Lost. Max Strus is useless. Oladipo hasn't regained his shine.
Give it to Steve Kerr then.
Robinson is wearing a ski mask, stealing $120 million from the franchise. And you expect Eric Spoelstra to make a nice Sunday gumbo with these twigs and bark and fucking grass clippings off the ground?
Give it to Steve Kerr then.
They made the playoffs.
Give it to Steve Kerr then. They fucking had the second most rotation switches in the whole fucking league. They got a whole bunch of garbage going on. They got rid of Wiseman. Yeah.
Steve Kerr and Eric Spoelstra are the two best coaches in the NBA.
No.
I wouldn't be mad at that.
Kerr over Wiseman. I mean, Kerr over Wiseman. Kerr over Spoelstra.
He played Wiseman the first 25 games. Couldn't figure out his rotation. Sorry.
Okay, hold up. Boston over-under at the beginning of the season was 53.5. It was, mind you, it was at 60 before the news. I looked it up. It was at 60 before the coach news.
Yeah.
They dropped it to 53, which is 7 wins. And what's their record now?
55-25.
They went over, dog. I got to give my man some credit. I get it. You can say he's not a good coach or whatever, but players,
he's not. We'll see in the playoffs.
Dudes don't just fucking win.
He's so bad at coaching that people are openly asking, will Brad Stevens come back and coach this team the rest of the season in the playoffs? That's how bad Joe Mazzulla's been this season.
Bro,
you want to give a
y'all
coach of the year?
Y'all are killing me, bro.
Coach of the year to somebody who has the best roster in the NBA and doesn't win their conference. You don't do that.
Y'all are killing me, bro. Y'all are killing me. You can't just throw dudes out and be like, all right, win the games.
That's what he does. That's exactly what he does.
No.
He says, hey, we need to be more intense. He goes, we need to turn up the pressure. And he goes, get out there and figure it out.
So you legitimately think that they have the best roster in the NBA?
Yes.
I do not.
Not even close. It's not even close.
I do not.
And I said it on our preseason joint. And I said Mazzulla was going to cost them. I said they had the best record. And I said going from Ime Udoka to Mazzulla is going to cost them 7 wins.
You were actually shocked I had them at 2. You were like, I can't believe you even have them at 2. They're a good team. But you can't just throw dudes out there.
Players. They're poorly coached.
Hey, Michael Jordan didn't win without Phil Jackson. I think the only player that won without a great coach is LeBron. And I'm not going against Eric Spoelstra because like Ty Lue
Nikola Jokic.
yeah, he is. I mean, he's won games. I'm talking about championships.
Right. Oh, okay. Can we count Boogie Cousins and George Paul?
No, Mike Malone was his coach when he went like 20-7 with the Kings, and then they exploded.
True.
Yeah,
that's true.
So he gives it up to Mike Malone. But yeah, that's it. I think we're out. That's an hour 40 in.
Nah, MVP, baby. We forgot the big one.
Oh, that's dirty. How's your neck holding up? This is a dirty one. This is
I'm gonna have to gut it out, bro. This is the big kahuna.
This is the filthy one. Sorry, I teased y'all, and I'm back. I groundhogged it. All right, MVP. Let's get disgusting. Let's get toxic.
I'll give my 3, then you give your 3. Then I give my 2, then you give your 2. Then I give my 1, then you give your 1.
God. All right, let's go for it. Go. Let's get nasty.
Coming in at number 3 on my MVP list.
I swear to God, if you do it.
Are we doing 5 and 4? I'll say it real quick.
No.
Sabonis is 5, SGA is 4. I'm not going to do any analysis. I have Sabonis 5, SGA 4. We're not.
I can't do SGA though. I can't do SGA. I'll do Sabonis and Tatum. I can't do SGA.
No Tatum.
No, nobody below 4 seed can be in my MVP ever. I can't do it. But
okay, I understand it. All right, so number 3 on my list, one of my favorite players of all time.
If you do it, I'm out. I'm telling you, I'll be so pissed. He was
going to be the best player in his draft class over Andrew Wiggins when they both played together in Kansas.
I'm out. I'm leaving.
Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid this season has had a great season. He's first in the NBA in scoring. He's 11th in block rate. In crunch time, he's a season best plus 99. So why isn't he my number 1 for MVP, Terry? Well, his defense has slipped precipitously. Okay? Precipitously. Before we went into this award, I was like, Embiid has to do 2 things to win it this year when we did our season preview. I was like, 1, he has to improve the percentage he shoots from 2. He shot 44% from 2 last season. This year, he's shooting 56%. Pretty goddamn great. The other thing that I said that he had to do, stay on the court. This year, he's played, 2 years ago, Jokic played 900 more minutes than Embiid. Mm-hmm. Last season, Jokic played 180 more minutes than Embiid. This season, he's only played 40 minutes more than Embiid. 1 game. So Embiid did the 2 things that I asked of him to become MVP. But he didn't keep the defense at the level where it previously had been. I have some numbers in here somewhere.
For
There we go.
Embiid?
Yeah, for his Embiid, talking about his defense. All right. Number one problem with Joel Embiid on defense, and this is something that is not talked about anywhere in the national media or even in the local media. He falls too much. There are 15 possessions a game where Joel Embiid is still on the floor on the wrong end of the court, and they're playing 5-on-4 the other way. 15 times a game. Beyond him not getting back in transition and rolling around on the ground, he also doesn't contest as well on defense. His effort is waxed and waned, and he holds it for like the last 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. And you could tell this in terms of like how opponents shot around him. The last 2 seasons, Terry, with Embiid on the court, opponents shot 4.6% less with him around, and 4.4% less with him around. This season, 1.8% worse when he's around. Less than half of the impact that he's had in the last 2 seasons defensively. If we're splitting hairs, man, and, we got some great candidates this year. I was impressed by Embiid going out in Denver and giving it to Jokic. He had a great game this week when he...
Philly.
What? Excuse me. He beat Jokic in Philly. Thank you.
Yeah.
He beat the Celtics in Philly this week and dropped 50 points.
Oh, yeah. Wait, was that this week? Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yep, that was this week.
54? 52?
50-something.
He went crazy.
The most impressive stat of his entire season to me, Terry, he's dropped at least 35 points. He's dropped at least 35 points without his field goal percentage dropping below 50% in 28 games this season.
Yeah, he's good.
Which is just fucking crazy.
Should be better, honestly. He was fucking huge, but, whatever. Different NBA.
So I think Joel Embiid has had a great season. But if we're splitting hairs, man, coming down like he became the betting favorite, then he ducked Jokic. Let's just call it for what he was. Then he got his ass beat by Giannis in the first quarter, and that game was done. Giannis went right at him and roasted him.
That was insane.
And he had no chance whatsoever. And then he just got his ass beat by Jimmy Butler by 25 points last night in a pivotal game to decide the end of the season that you needed to catch the Celtics for the number 2 seed.
That was a tough one.
So, in some of the biggest games this season, Joel Embiid has not performed at his best. And I really take umbrage to the fact that he dumped Jokic in Denver and hasn't played him there since 2019. He's the best one-on-one player in the NBA. He's the most unstoppable offensive force. But he's number 3 on my MVP this year.
Yeah. I'd like to say a few things. One, I was completely disappointed in the national rhetoric, besides Kendrick Perkins and a few people, about Embiid ducking that game. They're just like, yeah, he ducked it, whatever. No. You can't just do that, and I'm just like, all right, yeah, dude's missed games this year, cool. You can't miss with, like, the biggest anticipated game since, like, fucking regular season-wise, since, like, 1990.
And then play the next night against a nobody.
Yeah, and come on, bro. And no disrespect, I love Ryan Russillo, but Ryan Russillo's like, I watched it before in the Detroit game. He just looked like he needed a break. Well, you should have fucking played the Detroit game then. Fuck is wrong with you, bro? Pissed me off. You had it. You had it in your hands. That's one. Second for me is that Bucks game. I mean, back to back. Not jacks. Back to back duds. In a matter of 5 days? Like, those are really close to each other, man. And
you're talking about the Heat and the Bucks.
Yeah. The Heat game is ridiculous. And then, honestly, I don't give too much credence on him ducking since 2019. But since, 2021, I can be like, all right, you two were definitely, the guys. 2019, it was still, budding. We didn't really know if he was going to be great or not. But not even going to Denver. What do you got? Sickle cell? I'm not trying to make a joke, but, you got to play in Denver. I mean, you can't just fucking Not go
Listen,
to
one of us had to make a sickle cell joke.
You gotta say, like, what's going on with this Denver thing? You got something. Something's going on. But anyways, yeah, we don't disagree. He's my number 3.
Wow! I
Great
can't
fucking
believe
player.
I thought you were going to pick him 1.
No, but I told you. We talked about this when he ducked the game. I told you he will not. He's not on my MVP ballot. We don't have votes, but like we're talking about it.
Holy shit!
He's not
the odds-on favorite. I thought for sure he was going to be 1 on your ballot. I agree with everything you said. And the effort, it's like, I think that's the biggest indictment to me is that he's so good in clutch time. Like when you see those,
he's great. Yeah, he's great.
What it looks like when he's locked in and he's trying his hardest.
Yeah,
like he should win Defensive Player of the Year.
Yeah,
but he does it from minute to minute, from night to night. And so, like when you look at their defensive numbers, would you believe me if I told you that the Sixers with Joel Embiid on the court,
they're close,
half a point better on defense
than
the Nuggets with Jokic?
They're close. They don't have great defenders on their team, but we think of Embiid as like this great defender. In my eyes, I've seen him be a lazy piece of shit on defense sometimes. You know, I think he's a good defender 70% of the time. I think he's a great defender 30% of the time. But there's no other percent because that's 100%. But like, sometimes he's not doing shit. He's lazy as fuck. He gives me big, like, who was the center last year when Steph was torching him? Robert Williams, like, drop coverage in the first game, like, vibe sometimes. I'm like, yo, you gonna switch this up or not?
I gotta conserve my body and my energy so I can be ready for the fourth quarter.
Nah, man, like, he was great all season, but he fell flat, man. He really did. He disappointed me. He really did. And I honestly think Vegas just looked at the national rhetoric, the national conversations. If the media was a bit more upset about it, then the odds were totally shit. But they seemed like they didn't care.
But you know, the media loves to act like they're so far removed from being a regular person. They're oh, well, I'm not going to be Mr. Recency Bias and Mr. Small Sample Size and Mr. this and Mr. that. I'll tell you what, I'll be Mr. Eyeballs. You haven't played your rival in 4 years at his home. How about that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't mean Vorps and Snorps and Raptors and luck-adjusted, whatever the fuck's like to tell me that you didn't show up.
And I also had to kind of look in the mirror and say, like, if Embiid already had 2 and neither Jokic or Giannis already had 2, would I be thinking, you know, looking at the numbers and being like, all right, this guy's doing this. Am I just giving him the MVP because he doesn't have one? And I kind of think I was in a moment. Like, Embiid was snatching it. Like, don't get me wrong. Embiid was going to win it. He was snatching it.
I think there are a lot of people that have that same, like, criteria when they vote. Where
they're like, human. Yeah, they're human.
MVPs should tell the story of the league, is what a lot of people think. And so, like, a big argument I heard is, like, you can't tell the story of the last 5 years of the NBA with just Jokic and Giannis. Embiid has to be part of the conversation.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
And so he deserves one of these MVP. But I just don't subscribe to that line of thinking. I'm going to vote for whoever is best this year. I'm not doing a revisionist decade review. Like, I'm talking about this season.
Yeah, nah. I can't give it to him. Embiid's third.
Wow, I'm surprised. Who's your second then?
He dropped. Jokic is second for me.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Make your case for
Jokic being second?
Yeah, for him being second.
Oh. Well, Embiid slept in one game and left, you know, and then in 2 other games that were pretty pivotal for Philly was catching up to Boston and Milwaukee. They really were, but they kind of fell flat. There was another guy that was sleeping in the West that could have fell flat. And his name is Mr. Nikola Jokic. I don't know what was going on. There was a 5-game stretch of them being like the worst defensive team I've ever seen in my life. But towards the end of the season, I mean, and I understand they kind of had the 1 seed locked, but they really didn't. They almost gave that shit up.
No, they didn't. What are you talking about?
Yo, Memphis is only 2 games behind them, dude.
There's 1 game left, Terry.
There's only 2.
Mathematically cannot get it.
Not now.
Win the 1 seed.
No, I'm saying not as of we speak right now. I'm saying in like in past tense. Like
they're fucking around. They played like the Bulls, the Pistons, and the Magic all in the same week when they're up 8 games all over the Grizzlies.
Yeah,
like,
nah. I can't do it. There's the rest of us play the fucking games. I'm not trying to hear that shit. And besides that, we always know that Denver has a great home court advantage. But greatness isn't determined on your home record. It's determined on how you do on the road. Denver.
Warriors chipping up this year.
No, not at all. Denver under 500 on the road, brother. I can't do it. I love Jokic, and I would have loved fucking 3 straight. And I don't care if he would have lost in the first or second round. Of course, I would have blamed him. But if I'm looking back in history, I wouldn't be like, this dude sucked. Like, this guy is fucking great. But at the end of the day, a lot of his numbers are fluff because of how shitty his fucking bench is, how shitty his surrounding players are, his cast around him. But man, I don't know. He just didn't do enough for me. He lost his triple-double average. He went down to 9 point.
Let's stop talking so much about what Jokic didn't do and talk about what Giannis did do. Because I think it's fair to say that Giannis is the best player in the world, and I thought Jokic is the MVP. Like, I think those two things can also coexist.
They can be true. They can be true.
I think Giannis is the best player in the world, so I'm not mad at your pick at all. He scored more points in the paint than anybody in the league. He scored more points on fast breaks than anybody in the league.
Yep.
In fact, he had over 125 more buckets in the restricted area than the second place player.
He's a post guy.
He's second in the NBA in free throws to Embiid. Plus, he's scoring 31 points a game on 55% shooting, playing 32 minutes a game.
He's dominating.
Yeah, he's barely even playing. His team has the best record in the NBA.
Yep.
He was missing his second banana for fucking, what?
Middleton played like
50 games.
50, yeah.
Middleton missed 50 games this season.
So he was out 31.
So Giannis scored over 30. Top 5 player on offense. On defense, I gave the Brook Lopez thing and everything.
Yeah.
I still think Giannis is the best defender on the team. Like, I think Brook he deserves recognition for his role this year.
He's the best defender. In this new NBA, he's for sure the best.
Him and Nick Claxton were the only 2 players in the league to be top 5 when guarding the pick and roll ball handler and top 5 while guarding the pick and roll rollman. So he's the best player on the best team. He's the best 2-way player, and he's the best player in the world.
And you got him second.
I do. I have him second.
That's cool. I'd like to say one more thing for Jokic, and this is not to disdain him, but in a year, and he did his fucking thing. He absolutely did his thing. Don't get me wrong. But in a year when there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's 6 players scoring over 30 points a game, and he's scoring 24.8. We ain't gonna round up. You didn't let me round up when it was 0.9 for somebody else. 24 points. 24, and this is like an all-time high for like dudes getting points. It's a huge disparity. And when you look at, I understand the numbers,
I'm so happy you mentioned that, Terry.
No, all advanced numbers. Jokic, we got it. I'm gonna finish this off before we get done. 6 more wins than Jokic. The Bucks, of course we get it. The Bucks were 10-6 without Giannis. Oh, whoop-de-doo is a fucking great team. The Grizzlies without Ja were fucking 20-6 or some crazy ass shit. Now that's something. Yeah. Denver, I think, was 4-7 without Jokic this year or something maybe even more. I don't remember, but they're bad.
All their records when they played.
They're a bad team. Giannis's record is crazy.
When they played, the Nuggets are 48-20 when Jokic plays. The Nuggets are 43-23 when Embiid plays. And the Bucks are 47-16 when Giannis plays.
Okay, you flipped the first 2 teams, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so Jokic still had more wins than Giannis.
Giannis played way less games. Yeah, you're good.
No, he did. He played more games.
How many games? What? He played more games than Jokic? I thought Jokic played 68.
He played 3 games less.
Gotcha.
All right. So this whole narrative about how Giannis way outperformed him, I don't believe that.
All right.
The Nuggets won 1 more game, and they played. Jokic played 3 more games than you, like when you're on the court. So let's stop all that nonsense from the beginning. I'm going to give my Jokic, he's my MVP, in case you couldn't tell, Terry.
Oh, you never wavered on him, ever.
He was my MVP preseason.
You even had Embiid at third before the fucking Denver Sixers game, which is kind of crazy to me, but it's whatever. I don't think anything would have changed your mind. If Embiid would have scored 70, you still would have been like, nah.
No, that's not true. Joel Embiid is my second favorite player in the NBA.
But he was always third in your ballot. Go ahead, give me the Jokic.
Yeah, because I think Jokic and Giannis are better than him.
No, that's true. But I'm just saying, I just don't agree. But
I still like Embiid more than I like Giannis. Like,
give me your Jokic take.
My Jokic take is
we know Denver. What the numbers are. I don't want to hear any plus minus numbers though. Give me the other ones.
It's too late.
Here we go. No one cares. We're reading through that. That's done.
How about this number? Denver's been in first place since December 20th.
Congratulations.
Number. They've never been anything other than first place since fucking December, Terry.
And you beat Memphis by what? How many games? And they were without Ja for how many games? Okay, keep going.
All right. Is this what we're going to do? Memphis, the title contender? Is that
No. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying to you. Memphis is not even that great a team in your eyes, and they're only a couple games behind Denver.
Yeah, he didn't just beat Memphis. He beat the entire West, Terry.
No. The whole West sucks.
Between them and Memphis.
If the whole West is garbage, then Denver should have 60 wins.
Garbage. And again, he won more games than Giannis did. So
and they didn't get
about the West, the East, any of that shit.
They barely got They didn't even get the over/under. They have to win to get their over/under for the preseason.
All he has to do is get on the court, and the Nuggets destroy everybody. When he's on the court, the Nuggets outscore their opponents for 13 points per 100 possessions, which is the highest number in the league. Terry, that has nothing to do with his teammates that are on the bench. That is when he is on the court.
No, I agree.
They outscore opponents by 13.5 points.
No, that's great.
Nothing to do with the bench.
That's great.
Everything to do with Jokic.
That's the plus.
13.5 points.
That's great. That's great.
All right. Overall, he is plus 650, which is 170 points higher than any other Denver Nugget. Denver has outscored its opponents in at least 10 points in 41 games when Jokic played. The next highest total this season is Brook Lopez with 31.
How many of those are at home?
Not only that, his net plus minus is a league best plus 23.2 points per 100 possessions.
Nobody cares.
23.2 per 100 possessions.
We're reading through this.
No.
Go
Stop just saying stupid shit every time I make a fucking point. Like, you just don't think no after every time I say set?
Go ahead. They're great stats, but it's like his teammates suck. What the fuck are we doing here?
Right, but his teammates sucked worse last year. And
they were horrible last year, yeah. No, go ahead. They're great numbers. His numbers are great.
So this year, he's plus 23.2 points per 100 possessions. When he won MVP 2 years ago, when his teammates sucked ass, he was plus 6.5 points per 100 possessions. When he won MVP last year, when his teammates were marginally better, he was plus 16.4 points per 100 possessions. With a better supporting cast, his net plus minus has gone up 8 points per 100 possessions with the return of Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. With not having to pass to Austin Rivers, he somehow got 8 points better per 100 possessions.
Yeah.
He's averaging 25 points, 12 rebounds, and 9.8 assists per game with a league-high 29 triple-doubles and a league-low 0 all-star teammates. Not only does he lead the NBA in true shooting percentage, but he's on track to finish with the highest average in NBA history among all players who have taken at least 1,000 shots.
Where's he at? Is it at 70 or 69? Or
70.6, I think.
Oh, okay. Which is amazing. That's absolutely fucking amazing.
On over 350 tries, Terry, Jokic is shooting 63% in the non-restricted area of the paint. The average player would only shoot 39% on those shots. And Jokic is shooting 63%.
Beast.
He's the only player in NBA history to score 25 points a game on a 70% true shooting percentage.
Beast.
Could you name me the only other players to do it on 20 points a game, not 25.
On 20? I don't think anybody's done it. Maybe Will.
On 70% true shooting.
Maybe Will.
No, Nikola Jokic. He's the only other person.
Okay, that's what I thought.
Can you tell me who could do it on 15 points a game in NBA history?
That's definitely Will once.
No, it's just Nikola Jokic.
All right.
No one's done it on 15 points a game. No one's done it on 20 points a game. He's doing it on 25 points a game.
Beast mode.
He's the best scorer in the NBA, and it's not even close.
He's a good scorer.
He's 32nd in usage rate behind Paolo Banchero, Kyle Kuzma, and Keldon Johnson. Yet Denver's rating on offense when Jokic is on the floor is 124.3, which is 5 points over the Kings, who have the best offense in NBA history.
Yep.
When he's not on the floor, and I know these are the ones you didn't want to hear, they score 102 points per 100 possessions, which is a 22-point gulf. By far the biggest in the NBA. We could throw that out because the bench sucks. That's fine. His average time of possession, Terry, is 4.4 minutes a game, which is less than half of Luka Doncic's league-leading time. And he has more assists, and he has the best offense in NBA history. Yes, opponents made 71% of their shots at the rim when he's at the floor, but he's an elite rebounder who finishes defensive possessions. He ranks 8th in deflections league-wide, not just among bigs, and has more steals than De'Aaron Fox and Drew Holiday as a center.
Great hands.
Most telling, Denver's defensive rating when Jokic is on the court is only 111.5. 76ers with Embiid is 111.
Hey, that's why he's third on both of our ballots, right?
When Jokic is on the floor, there are only 4 teams that have a better defense than him. The Celtics, the Grizzlies, the Bucks, and the Cavaliers. The reason the Nuggets' defense sucks so bad is because they're backups. It's not because of Jokic. There are only 4 teams in the whole league who play better defense than the Nuggets when Jokic is on the floor. And then finally, Terry, Jokic is, the advanced stats, the WAR, the total Raptor, all that stuff.
LeBron.
It's like he's a moon and everybody else are like planets all together. And he's just completely in a different stratosphere. His total wins over a replacement player. So if you just replace Jokic with an average player, he's giving you 20 and a half more wins than an average player.
Yeah.
Embiid was 12. Giannis was 10. His total Raptor is 14, and Embiid's was 8. But here's my favorite stat out of all of them, Terry, that really encapsulate how he's not just the best passer in the NBA, how he's not just the best one-man offense in the NBA, but he's also the best scorer in the NBA. Per 100 shots, Terry, Joel Embiid scores 131 points, which is insane. 131 points per 100 shots is beyond ridiculous. Let me just say that. Nikola Jokic scores 146 points per 100 shots.
Peace.
His team's the best offense when he's on the court of all time. He has 0 All-Stars around him. They've had the best record in the West since November. The team is exactly the same defensively when he's on the court as compared to Embiid. He touches the ball half of the amount of time as other players who scored as much, assist as much, and lets everybody eat to construct the identity. This is how basketball should be played. And that's why Nikola Jokic is my MVP.
Great numbers. Absolutely great numbers. I don't know. The thing for me is we keep comparing him to Embiid. I think that was the problem. We were doing that all year, and I don't think he was the worthy adversary.
Because Embiid is the closest in scoring. If you compare his scoring with Giannis's, it's like this is Mount Everest and this is the Empire State Building.
Yeah.
It's not even remotely close. Giannis, in terms of his offensive efficiency, 76th in the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
Jokic, number 1 by a huge margin.
Yeah. The only thing I'm trying to tell the people, not that Jokic isn't great. I think Jokic is an absolute monster. But I think when you actually think about it and not just look at the numbers, as if I were to ask you, who do you want in the NBA to get you a bucket at the end of the game. And I know his name won't come up. It should. It's probably above Giannis's, if we're being honest. Like that's
no shit. He can score from all three levels. Like what?
That's not even a question. But everybody's like, "Oh, give it to Giannis. He'll give me a button now." His ability to drag shitty players to be a really good team. 50 wins is not easy, no matter what the competition is. I know, like, the bottom 6 teams this year were really bad. But his teammates are not fucking good. They can't really shoot. Bruce Brown is his best bench player. Jeff Green plays a lot of minutes for Denver. And when did he get drafted? Like 2008 or something? Like, that was a long time ago. He's a fucking menace, man. Like, the Bucks have a good team. The Sixers, James Harden, if he didn't miss a shitload of games, probably was an All-NBA guy. Like,
and the Bucks,
this is different.
Yeah, they missed Middleton for 50 games. But you still had Drew Holiday, an All-NBA player, for 65.
And Brooks stepped up. And
he's going to win Defensive Player of the Year.
He was really good.
Have around him.
Lopez is probably not going to win, but he's close to winning the Defensive Player of the Year. He was fucking really good this year.
Does Jokic have a Defensive Player of the Year candidate on his roster? Does he have a single other All-Star? Giannis had 2 and a Defensive Player of the Year candidate.
He did, but he was missing his second guy for a while. But we didn't even think about that until now. I feel like we didn't even start talking about it until like right now. And
let's give a Giannis, Aaron Gordon, and Jamal Murray and Michael Porter Jr. and see how he does with those guys. And give Giannis, Drew Holiday, and Chris Middleton,
give Jokic.
Other guys and see how he does.
Give Jokic Drew.
I wonder which team would be better. I wonder.
Give Jokic Drew. I still think the Bucks would be good. Giannis is really good, man. He's good at carrying bullshit.
Yeah, I feel you, but the difference of like the supporting quality is just so fucking vast. It's crazy.
I got you. That's why his plus-minus numbers are crazy. I'm not trying to just fuck on them just to fuck on them. But, like, at a certain point, when you look at the numbers, you're just like, why are they this fucking insane? And it's just like, oh, okay. I don't know. It's just like, when you point out all the numbers, like we were saying, like last week, there's nothing that you can, like, look at and be like, oh, no, that's complete bullshit. Or be like, oh, that's crazy. And then you dive even deeper and you're just like, oh, okay, that's really not that big of a deal. But I think some of the Jokic numbers are, like, actually insane when he's on the court. Like, he's a fucking monster. He makes dudes around him way better. I don't know. He might win 3. He might.
Until they change the kickball rule, he's going to be just fine on defense.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I don't know. Dude, who do you think is going to win the MVP this year? I know
Embiid.
I know who you want. You think Embiid's going to win? Me too, man.
I
don't
think
know.
Embiid's going to win it.
It's weird.
You know, it helps that he has Daryl Morey and Nurse Rivers doing a 24/7 PR campaign on him at all times.
Yeah.
Daryl Morey's tweeting after every game. Nurse Rivers is going to press conferences talking about how the MVP discussion is over because he scored 50 points against Grant Williams in single coverage. Like,
they weren't that.
You got your ass beat the next night by Jimmy Butler by 25. You got your ass beat by Giannis by 30. And we're talking about scoring 50 against Grant Williams.
No, you
that's
duck,
the nail in the coffin, Doug? Okay.
You ducked the biggest game of the year. Like, it's a great game to beat the Bucks. I mean, beat the Celtics, but he was literally, like, he shot 20 for 25, right? Or whatever it was, 21 for 26, whatever he scored.
It was amazing. But you played against a guy who was 7 inches shorter than you.
But the way he was scoring, it was like they were giving him a free throw every time. Like, he was like, one dribble, 15 feet, slap.
And he was just shooting over a chair. And then they double, and I'll just kick out to a wide-open shooter. Like, it was easy as fuck. 2K on rookie mode, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm worried about the Celtics. If they play Philly like that, that's I don't know. I hope they don't get them, because that'll be... Actually, I think they are going to get them. It's set. If your second round is that matchup, which will be insane. But the Cleveland Bucks will be crazy, too. I don't know. East looking cool. It'll be a test. But
that's going to be awesome, man. You know, my heart goes out to Joel Embiid, who finishes now with 29 dresses instead of 27. But, like...
He's probably going to get it, man. He's probably going to get it.
I said preseason, Jokic wins the MVP if he puts up the same stats and they have the #1 record in the Western Conference.
It was close. He should have. If they would have dominated more...
MVP is he keeps everything the same, but he improves his percentage from 2, and he stays on the court more. He improved his percentage from 2. He stayed on the court. He forgot how to play defense for 82 games.
Not for a full 82, but it's going to be hella close, man. It's going to be really close. I honestly do not know who's going to win it. I really don't. I think Embiid might.
I don't either, but it should be Jokic. It should be Jokic.
I don't know.
And the thing I don't understand out of all of this is how, like, the national media has made this a two-dog race. Like, Giannis hasn't been playing basketball all year. Like, he doesn't have the best record in the whole NBA. Like, he's not putting up 31 and is, like, an elite defensive player, the best two-way guy.
It's because he's
everybody. And they're just like, oh, it's Jokic and Embiid. Jokic and Embiid. Jokic and Embiid.
It's only because, like, when it was seriously the Jokic and Embiid talks, Giannis was hurt for a little bit, like with the wrist injury. And now he's back, and everyone's like, oh, shit. He's fucking dominant.
I saw what he did to Embiid. I saw what he did to Jokic. Like, he won both those games handily.
Well, the last game that him and Jokic played, though, Denver won, right? By like 6.
Yeah, they won the first one. You're right. Denver did beat them on the last one. Oh,
yeah.
That was the last point I had about Jokic. His record against the top 5 teams in the NBA. 14-3.
That's pretty fucking good. That's a good one. That's a good one. Hey, it's going to be a deep dive, voters. Good luck with this one. This one is tough. I would like for it to be like this.
I'm so thrilled at where the league is right now that, like, my MVP, Leonard, 4 out of the top 5 players are bigs. Sabonis, Giannis, and Embiid.
Oh, yeah, for you, yeah.
I fucking love it.
That's
crazy. My God, it makes me so warm and fuzzy inside when I could go and see somebody actually defeat a switch to play with their back to the basket. Like,
yeah, that's crazy. But
gone are the days of Al Jefferson being all NBA and Joakim Noah getting MVP votes and all this other fucking nonsense. Marc Gasol being the best center in the league for like 4 years.
I've seen Whiteside.
I'm so fucking happy.
Rudy Gobert.
Big man is back.
Yeah. Well, man, if y'all thought that was juicy, I can't wait till next week. That'll be all NBA. And we could probably touch on some of that new CBA talk. See what's going on with that.
I'll tell you right now, Julius Randle ain't making it. Sorry. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice,
shame on the Knicks.
Right.
All right, man. It's been another great one.
Another amazing episode. Thank you for kicking it with us. We will not have a kicking it episode on Tuesday. I'm going to be in Vegas trying to get my money up so I can afford a new computer.
Vegas. Potato Head.
But we will be back on Friday to give you our all-NBA teams and to talk about some of the play-ins and playoff series that are locked in the NBA.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. North Carolina, continue to stand up.
Peace.
Thank you for listening to our podcast this evening. Thank you. You're far too kind.